Oh, I don't think you ever meant to start a show with biscuit in your face.
It's fine, though.
I don't think that's professional.
Maybe not.
So, hello, welcome to This War Gamer. I'm your host, Rob. There we go. And I'm joined by Genius, who is wonderful. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You still eating some biscuit? We've both been eating some biscuit. We're doing our normal Tuesday hobby hangout. This is just hanging out. You came on the show before, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and we talked about some of the cool stuff. Loads of people big fans of you and Bexy. So I thought I'd break it.
No Bex today, though.
No Bex today.
No Bex today.
So I thought we'd break it down. We just have one of you each, and I'd teach you some stuff. Yeah,
teach me,
and you can learn some things. So we're gonna be building some things today.
Can I touch them now? I'm asking. You know, you can't just touch a man's toys.
So basically,
or someone's. This is.
Well, basically, I put a bunch of stuff there. Let's move it over. Let's move it over. I put a bunch of stuff there that I'm just going to let you choose from. What would you like to build? I almost went for a fair mix. I didn't put. There was a unit of racks I was going to put over there, but
unit of racks. What are we talking about racks here?
Well, so they're all different things. So that's
racks?
A piece of scenery, and that's a
Scenery.
so that's a feculent narmal piece of scenery. That's a Bellwind Vortex piece of scenery. Then you've got a massive dinosaur. This is Soul Grinder. So he's a demon inside a machine. Soul Grinder. Yeah. Or you can make a couple of wizards. Yeah. And you can do some
wizards. No.
You do some customizing, or you're out on the wizards.
Out on the wizards. They just look so puny. And this guy is tiny as fuck.
Yeah. Or there's a little clam pack. So he's out.
He's out.
I feel you're going straight to big.
Let's go to the big guy. Why not? Why the fuck not?
All right, okay.
Obviously, I was going to pick the big one.
Well, okay. So these are some clippers made by Games Workshop. Ooh. Yeah, they've lost their spring.
Were they designed by them?
They were. They cost an incredible amount of money. And as you can see, they as always, the spring's broken on them. So I'll be using some £4 ones from Wilco that work loads better.
So,
but the advice there is don't buy the stuff from Games Workshop.
I see.
Yeah.
It's super expensive and breaks.
But then the glue we're going to use, is some Tamiya extra thin cement. So what it does is when you're gluing, it doesn't actually glue so when you use super glue, it creates crystals and creates a bond. What this does is it melts both pieces of plastic and you stick it together.
Is it like an epoxy resin?
Yeah. Smashed it. You work for
you
work for an electric company, right?
Electric company.
Sorry, chemical company.
I work in the lab, darling.
Okay. That's better.
Yes, that sounds better.
That's better.
Chemical company.
Chemical company. LOV says, hello, hobby professionals. That's us.
Hi.
That's from LLV1.
LLV1.
He just likes being called LLV, though. He caused a storm recently by doing some graphs. And the Twitter sphere went crazy.
Twitter sphere? What's on the Twitter sphere?
Well, like Twitter is...
Okay, it's on the sphere of Twitter.
Yeah, so good start is to just get out all the sprues. I have to build these.
Why are you building them and I have to build this on my own?
Well, because you don't need to help. So I've got to build a high hook and pin. What are we hobbying? Genius is learning to build his first model ever, and he's chosen the Soul Grinder. Oh my god, Rob, when you said hang out with a noob, I thought you had Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming on. Wow, so he's just... So what you doing there? So how do you think you're going to build it? What do you need inside?
Oh, yeah, the fucking thing.
The IKEA packaging.
Yeah, the IKEA thing. Right. I thought we could just, start making it without looking at this. Because that's what you normally do. So, right, start building.
So what I'm showing you is, so you're going to build one model, but I've got to build 6 Skyweavers. So I'm just going to build them all at the same time. Does that make sense?
So you're basically just going to show off.
That's not showing off.
Yeah, it's like someone literally struggling to build something for the first time. It's just like, I'm just going to make 6 whilst you're doing that. It's like, thanks for the help and support. There's no support here.
Are you excited about building one of these?
Yes, of course.
All right, okay, good. There's a bunch of options as well, which is really fun.
Because I get to paint it as well, won't I, one day?
100%. And the next thing we need to ask between us,
yes,
is: are you building it for the 40? So what's really interesting about this model is you can build it either for the 40k game, so the game in space, or you can do it for the ones with dragons and wizards and shit.
What's the one in space like? What does he come out like? Does he still have this?
You know the Warhammer 40,000 one with 40,000 people?
Yeah.
That one. So he still comes out the same. It's kind of a weird thing. He doesn't really fit into the normal, the wizards and dragons and shit aesthetic, but he kind of does in some ways.
It looks like something that stole a sword, genetically modified guy. Yeah. He looks pretty
You like him? You think
I like
it
him.
looks good? All right.
He looks like he can crawl around stuff too.
He's pretty cool, right?
Mr. Crawl.
Mr. Crawl. Hook and Pin saying hello, by the way.
Hi, Hook and Pin. Hook and Pin.
Hook and Pin.
Mr.
Hook and Pin's a lovely lady.
So how do I
Nice
read this manual of life?
So we just start. So this is where it gets. I get to make so many gags at Games Workshop Expense, all
gagging
because of
for?
this.
What are you gagging for, man?
So first off, as you can
Do I
see,
always have to put this away.
this is one of the older kits, and so it doesn't have numbers.
Why
So
are you getting me the old one? Why not
you
get
chose
the
it.
new one?
I gave you a variety of
new one,
options.
son!
I gave you a
Give me
variety,
a variety
of
of
options.
new stuff.
Right.
not
So
old
what you see
stuff.
is mine. Yeah, it has. So I would get part 2 and part 1 and stick them together. But sometimes they're not located next to each other, so you have to kind of like you play this incredibly fun
they're
game.
so smart, aren't they?
where
Who
you're
made this?
scrolling
Who made
around.
this? Are they actually really that smart? The people who made this?
Why? What do you think? Why do you think it's smart to do it that way? Because sometimes they're not like. Look, part 41 is next to part 46, but sometimes on some sprues, like part
I get they're
17
trying to
is.
conserve plastic and space and everything, but why can't you just group shit together?
Well, my question is why don't you just go like, look, 1, 2, 3, 4 across, and then just change the numbers on the picture?
Rob, I don't know.
I'm
They're
just-
dumb. They are absolutely stupid because I don't know what the fuck.
Groovy says it's a soul grinder because it grinds down your soul. So what you need is your clippers. You got your clippers?
Yes.
Perfect. And you need to
Yeah,
find
the rubbish ones.
So the first thing you got to do there,
Thanks.
you have to find. See how it says 4 times? You got to find that those 2 parts 4 times, then clip them out. I think they're those ones as well. Yeah, nailed it. And then you got to clip them out, and then you see here. Well, I'll show you on yours. You see how there's these bits, the extra bit, the tag. So you try and cut as close as possible to. Well, now if you do it the other way,
What,
so the
to this
flat.
way?
Yeah. So the flat is against there. Perfect. Because what you'll get is these things called mold lines.
That was fun! Let's get it out. Ooh.
Some people saying that this is a tough model to start on first, but we could have given you a...
Really?
Yeah, there's an amazing model from Forge World called a
quite big.
Marauder Bomber, which is a massive, like, plane, and its instructions are a picture of the model assembled.
That's cool.
That
would be nice
it's like
to do.
that's
That would
like-
be fun to do. I think that is literally the battle against intellect and plastic and man. Because I feel like intellect literally goes out the fucking window if that shit happens. Some people do not have an imagination, but they can play games. It's like, how? You play fantasy fucking games and you have no imagination. You can't put shit together.
so how have you been?
Anyway, opinions. Hi, yo, homies. Hi, homies.
Hi, Bob Monkey
Cheesecake.
Cheese. So how's it?
Monkey
Since
cheese.
since the
Wow.
last time you were on the show,
Why is it monkey cheese?
it's Bob Monkey Cheese.
Oh, just the word monkey cheese.
You don't like it?
Oh, it makes me nervous.
Okay,
And
all right.
cringe a little bit. It's fine.
So how have you felt about the hobby since the last time you were on the show and you learned a bunch of stuff?
Well, it's been a really fucking long time since I was back.
It wasn't even that long, bro.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I don't
Felt
know.
like
I've had a pretty intense couple of weeks, so I
It's
haven't.
been on a hiatus. So Rob's been on a hiatus.
I've not been on hiatus. These guys saw me yesterday. Hi, Ty Winning.
Ty winning. What?
I'm just asking you. Like, did you have any thoughts about it? Were you like, yeah, this seems like a cool thing?
I
You
already
know?
told you last time. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I had something else to add. No, I had questions.
Okay.
Something to add.
Go for some questions.
Questions.
And also, anyone in the chat wants to ask questions, say hi. Let us know.
Ask questions. Like we got those answers.
We got time.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
No, there's nothing wrong. So
You've
I have to
done
get
it.
these ones with the other spikes as well.
This is
Okay.
fine. You're
Okay.
even allowed to stick the legs on the wrong way around, and that's
How can you stick them the wrong way around?
You could do it. You could do it with all sorts of models, big and small. You can even be an expert hobbyist like me and stick the occasional leg roll on some
Real?
models. Yeah.
That's because you're autopilot and you think you're cool.
Say it like it is.
Oh no, bro. Red shirt.
Soul grinder. Yeah. Everyone's excited about me giving you a soul grind to start with, but it could have given you some racks. They'd have been a lot harder, I think.
Rats.
Some racks. I've got to build a bunch of jet bikes.
Rats, spiders by any chance?
No, they're kind of like weird, tortured elven men.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Stark straight away, right?
They were tortured. How were they tortured exactly?
So their souls are going to get murdered by this god called Slanesh. Slanesh.
Damn.
He's the god
like
of
Ganesh, but not Slanesh. I'm a slice your soul out.
He's the god of sexy times and excess.
Damn. Okay, is that the sexy god?
And booms, sexy god. Well, all sorts. It's a bit reductive to call it the sexy god, but basically, yes.
Okay, what am I doing here?
So have you done all the legs so far?
I feel like these are legs as well, aren't they?
You should have 4. See, identical pieces. So you've got those 4. You need 2 more that look like that. Yeah.
There we go.
High volley fire, Andy. High. Even though everyone's genius. Don't let Rob grind you.
Grind.
Because you're doing a soul grinder. That's right.
Nice.
They're all making the gags.
Gag it.
Anyway, so the racks, basically what they do is they torture themselves and other people so that they get to steal some soul energy so that their soul doesn't get sucked up by the god of sexy times.
So why is the god of sexy times sucking up souls?
Because he hates the elves. And he loves their souls. They're like super tasty. Of all the souls in the universe, the elven souls are the tastiest.
They look fucking hot though.
They look great. They look great. And that's what I'm building right now. I'm building a bunch of clowns who escape the sexy god by doing jokes and doing pantomime all around the universe. That's what I'm playing as an army this weekend. Space clowns.
You're going to be a space clown?
Yes.
Are you going to dress up?
I wish I had time.
Why not?
I wish I had
Come
time.
on.
Because I don't have...
Totally
maybe for the next event, but I'll be going back to Warhammer World, and it's always a bit awkward when I go back there, because I used to work
I think it's unethical for Rob to do a hobby hangout. This is an excuse for someone to make copies. Yeah, I'm making a soul grinder here, man.
Yeah, soul grinders are, as everyone knows, so relevant in both game systems currently. Clearly. People can't stop
they're
talking.
Not, aren't they?
They're not. No, they're pretty pants.
There's no matter in life.
But Provoke Tree is a dwarf player, so he sometimes is a little bit upset, just generally about the universe.
The Provoke Tree. What provoked you, Mr. Tree?
That's a great question.
No, it's a real question though. What provoked the handle to come out like that?
I wonder how many times Rob has got Genius there to pretend there's a stream was on while they made models.
Wow. These people are fucking ruthless. Do y'all have girlfriends? Would you talk to your girlfriends like that? Huh? Don't talk to Rob like that.
So you said you had some questions from last time you were on.
Oh, questions, yeah. Questions, right. Do girls play naked?
Why would that be a question?
No, that's a genuine fucking
question,
question,
has
bro.
that been on your mind?
Do you know what, right? Because girls are always being like gamers always play fucking naked when you see shit on fucking videos.
On Twitch.
They're just like, damn, these bitches is naked. So do you play these board games naked? Is it safe to do that? Just questions, man. There's a lot of dice flying around and shit. So I'm like, damn.
The naked girl market isn't much of a thing.
Why?
Well, because
there can be more around the table.
Well, because the game isn't fun. It's not like boxing or like.
You need to source things up in the game to get more people
interested.
More. I feel like it's so hardcore in like in
chess doesn't have like naked chess, does it?
Yeah, there is.
No, there is
bro.
Not.
Like where have you been?
Not.
I don't know where you been at. Like there's naked chess somewhere.
Hobbying while naked is a massive mistake. Do you remember Jonathan who came down, the big Swedish fellow who came over for a bit? He more than once has stuck a lot of super glue to his crotchal area.
How do you manage that though?
You just spilt it. Like you're in this position that I'm in now, and then you just spill the super glue.
Where would you hold the super glue? You leave the super glue, you use a brush.
Because we're all crazy hobby. Usually because this
because you uneducated, man.
This is quite a clean work surface. Most people's hobbies areas. So you can see beyond here. And, you can see the well-ordered hobby area that is the office. Yeah. But imagine all of that. That's everyone else's hobby area. But they just usually have it stacked up. And there's like a computer here that they're listening to some stuff on.
Why not just be organized, man? It's not that hard.
Because you got like 73 projects on the go at the same time.
Organize the 73. It's not that fucking hard.
Because then next week you go and buy another one, and it takes a while.
Order to your life.
Just order to your life. Would that help if there were more sexy Warhammer tournaments?
Yep. It would so help, man.
So help.
I would be attending and I would know all the facts. Literally every fucking fact. Oh, she's got this god now. This god is now going to attack. I'm like,
look at that mood to it. It's like, I am guilty. He is sat there watching this in that workspace. He's like, it's a mess. Yeah, he's just like... he's like got up and he's like looked at the screen, then looked around him and he's gone.
It's like, are they talking to me? Yeah, we're talking to you, Moonpig. Is it Moon what?
Hook and Pin says no naked playing boobs tend to be an issue.
Why?
Well, so I tell you, so you know when you stood here, you know when you stand here, yeah, and there's a bunch of models. Yeah. What you tend to do is, I don't wear my shirt when I play.
Yes, actually, if you did feel well endowed,
in both ways,
everywhere it would go.
It's probably crotch height.
Oh, actually, that's true.
A table,
but then it would technically. But then how? Okay, you know what? Let's stop there. What goes next? Okay, right.
Okay, so if you cut them out.
Yeah, I've got all of them.
Perfect. So then there's these things. So then there's these things called mold lines, and tags. All right. So a normal hobbyist would not do this, but we're going to be pro hobbyists.
Yes.
So you see where you cut it out.
We are pro.
You see how it's a bit of a bleh.
Yeah.
Right. So what you'll do is you'll take this tool, and then you'll scrape it off. Well, some people use a scalpel. I just tend to use this tool because it's the way I've done it. Plus, I don't have a scalpel for it, so that's the way. So you go around all of the model and you look at, see that bit? Otherwise,
it's so blunt.
It's not blunt because you use the edge, you scrape.
Oh, fucking scrape. Who's got time to scrape? Game fucking Center. What are they called? Game Workshop?
What? Games Workshop. Although we like to call them model floggers now.
Model fucking floggers.
.com.
Who makes a fucking scraper for plastic?
Lee Bromley's here. Lee Bromley once actually magnetised his model, and then the base that it's on,
legend.
And then it floated.
See, now, this is what I was talking about last time. You have to make shit innovative so that people are like, what? People like me, we like to see shit floating around. Like, why not just accommodate the game for people like me?
What do you mean, Space Cadets?
Oh, Rob!
Rob,
I don't know how to scrape. You need to teach me how to fucking scrape.
Okay, show me then. Right, so there's the thing. There's the bit on top. Oh, okay. There you go. That bit. Yeah, grab it.
Why are you choosing the easy one? I was like...
Let's grab that bit. See that bit there?
Anyone can do that!
There you go. Easy. Right? There we go. Don't worry, most people don't even do this bit. They just leave tags all over their models.
Oh, that would piss me the fuck off.
And it looks...
Why does it look like you snipped out the fucking thing?
It's just got tags on.
Just glued the shit together and then they just like, oh, there we go.
What's worse is sometimes the models come with these things called mold lines. So where they've
currently level 1. That is true. I am currently level 1.
I'm not even. It's a bit silly.
We should pay attention to
just scrape it with the edge of a knife. The Merchant Prince doesn't believe in the scraper and thinks you should be using a knife instead.
I believe I should be using a knife too.
Well, I don't use knives. I use that because I already cut myself with it recently.
Oh, so cute.
So I don't trust a knife.
I cut myself.
I don't trust myself with a knife, if I'm honest. I don't.
Okay, bro.
Savages says Grubby, now working on sound effects for my next bunch of models, says Lee Bromley. So Lee Bromley's now going to have sound effects for his next army.
His army's going to have sound effects?
Yeah, so this already we're learning the stages of how people hobby. Because some people don't even do the thing that you're doing now.
Do you know what? You should actually make LEDs for that shit as well.
LEDs?
Yeah.
LEDs.
You know, like on the sword, and then like put motion detectors and shit, and then when someone comes make a move like it's like, wow. I would literally be like
I really enjoy how dynamic you think the game is. In reality, it's nowhere near as dynamic.
It is that fucking dynamic if you have an imagination.
Alright, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
I think if you're going to play a strategy game, you have to have an imagination. You can't just think mathematically. I think
that's the opposite of how some people play.
That's the question I actually had. So you people out there, right, I have a question. Young Lee Bromley as well, this is out to you. So, do you play with your imagination or do you play mathematically? It's a strategy game, I know. Logically, you are going to say...
Well, no, because some people play only story mode. Ooh. They only play story mode.
But then in story mode, there is still that...
strategy.
Yeah. What are you playing?
But a lot of the guys that do
both. Yes, I love the...
But a lot of the guys that do story mode get super triggered if you try to ever win. But then if they win, that's okay because that's the story. But then if they lose, they're super upset because you tried to win. Does that make sense?
Someone's painting.
I'm actually painting for once. I did a test scheme for my Tempestus Ski-On unit for a kill team last week, and it got me in the mood to paint again. But before I can start, also KR Quinn is stalking us. Thanks. But before I can start the kill team, I have some half-painted dwarves I need to finish. So today I'm going to try and complete Fire Slayer Rune Daddy.
Rune Daddy. Damn.
Rune Daddy.
Rune Daddy gonna slay your ass.
Get me your Rune
Yes,
Daddy.
imagination. You guys play with fucking imagination of mathematics. I only have one answer right now. I need answers. Fucking type. You're watching.
Mostly
type.
math. Just
Please.
That's my local player base.
Thank you.
But Volleyfire Andy says I play like a twat badger, so I play for the story. Yeah. Synchronized says Rune Daddy triggers me. Lee probably says
Go
I'm already
Rune Daddy.
drunk, so it's always imaginations. Maths becomes too difficult, which is very true.
See, people play drunk. Why can't you play naked? If you're drunk, glue gonna go everywhere, right? So how can glue go accidentally just on your crotch? Just like, oops, my dick. No.
What's the question you're asking?
He plays drunk.
He does play drunk.
Yeah.
But he doesn't build drunk. Well, he might build drunk. I think many people.
I asked the question, do you play naked drunk?
Do you play naked drunk?
It's the same thing.
I think generally, like in most sports, being fully naked while playing is fairly not okay. Well, that's true. They do that in most sports. They're like,
I know, obviously, but this is not like most sports. You guys are talking about demons and fucking dragons and shit. Is this like most sports?
Yeah, it's way better.
Exactly, it's way better. So we should be allowed to be naked.
Hi, Mr. Hector.
Mr.
Quinn preferred tournaments, so maths, Pokejohn, and a wizard.
How many tournaments have you won?
Wait, hold on. Mr. Pokejohn says, imagination, I like to imagine I'm a real general and a wizard.
Even though we didn't build the wizards today. The wizards are a bit small.
You didn't want to build the wizards, did you?
No.
There's a variety of different things you can give them.
But then I could paint them really cool.
Look at all the different. That guy's got this guy's got a cool hat. That guy's got a scythe. So
we make him as well on the side.
Well, yeah, it depends how long this bloody takes.
Okay, right.
Taking a piss, aren't you?
Sorry. Yes, I'm done now. Newbies here who get. I am getting distracted by things which interest.
By the way, if anyone's got any questions,
nudity is pretty
about
frowned upon. Nudity is frowned upon everywhere, but come on, this is a game.
It is not frowned upon everywhere, is it?
No, exactly.
To the beach, that's fine.
It's like
you organise
you
organise the world's first. Yes, because they're at home and no one can see them. Yeah, right.
There's nudist colonies. People go to sex clubs, man. Like, come on. Anyways, we don't need to talk about sex anymore.
We never did. We never started talking about it.
Listen to me, Rob.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Stop.
Okay. Someone found this out today. Apparently, Balthazar Gelt back in AOS in the form of Lord Arcanum is back in AOS in the form of Lord Arcanum. How did you find that out, the Merchant Prince? How did that come up? Rob might have a better chance of winning the coveted most female viewers on the Warhammer show if he starts painting naked. Lol. Synchronize. Winky face.
To be honest, this is why I'm like, people paint. They go to paint people naked.
No, they
fucking
don't.
life drawing.
No, they don't.
If people paint also
not in Warhammer.
Naked, come on, so what? It's painting. Like, you're painting. Can you just take your clothes? Painting your house. Paint your house naked.
So your main thoughts from the last time you were on the show were
it wasn't. Just
I haven't. There's not enough naked talk in the last show. I need to ask more questions.
No. That was just one question.
Oh, that was one question.
Other questions.
Okay. What are your other questions?
My other questions more to do with the actual game itself. When you're actually playing the game.
Thanks very much, Merchant Prince. Huh?
Who's Merchant Prince?
He's telling me about Balthazar Gelt, one of my favourite characters, who's a wizard. Right, okay, so you've got some pieces. Alright, nice.
Yeah.
One of my favourite wizards. So now, what you do, unscrew this. Right. So some people use like this Games Workshop, like Squidgy Doodah. It's not very good. So this is called dry fitting. So this is where you see whether or not they fit together.
They clearly don't.
Before they do. There you go. Clearly does. The issue is...
What? How?
You haven't taken off that tag there, so that's a bit of it. Give me the scraper.
Shut up.
Shut
up. I'm trying.
That's why you got to take off the tags, because...
What tags?
So, well, like the little bit left... I call them the tags. The bits that sometimes are left over after you've cut them off the sprue.
Sprue.
And the grey thing's called the sprue. The produce sprue. So there you go. So that's a bit of a dry fit.
It's a dry fit.
Look.
That's what she said.
See, that fits better, right? Yeah.
If Bex was there, she would appreciate my fucking sense of humor. Fuck you, Rob. Fuck you.
Right, so you see how that works? That fits? Yeah.
That fits too.
That fits. So then you see you need to see the contact points, right? Technical term. You see the bit where they touch.
Yes, sir.
So there and there. So then what you do, you take the glue pot and then stick it on all those edges where you know it's going to contact. That's right.
This is like Art Attack.
Yeah, it's like Art Attack. Only instead of paper mache, it's like a £40 model.
That's why, because that's in the way.
Right. So you see, I've done that.
Yeah.
And then you take the piece, you stick it on, and then you hold it
for a little while.
For a little while. That's right.
For a little while. Not for too long. Sexually harassing the host. Okay. Male gamers being jerks to women.
They never talk about all the women on Rob's stream getting yelled at for sexually harassing the host. To be fair, though, the men on the show also sexually harass me, so that's fine.
I don't understand.
Is that a define? No, Genius decided he wanted to build a... Do you remember what it's called?
What's it called?
Soul Grinder.
The soul grinding guy.
Yeah.
I'm building the soul grinder. That's what... Okay, what was the question?
There you go. And now you see how there's a bit of a gap, right? So as much as Games Workshop would like you to have a gap, let's not try and do that. So you hold it together. Well, then you've got to buy a new one. So they're over the moon about that. Right, so no gaps is the beginner's answer. So you just hold that for a little bit longer. Yeah?
All right.
Oh, it's still... Yeah. There you go.
You didn't put enough glue on it.
Well, you don't need to put loads of glue on, because what it does is it melts it. And it's fine.
Why not just use...
Can you tell what it is yet? Bit of an Art Attack. Pokey John did a bit of an Art Attack reference.
No, I can't tell what it is. Oh, he did used to ask that so many times. He's just like, fucking Art Attack guy. Shit. Can you tell what it is yet?
He's dead now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh. We all die. Come on.
That's true. Shit. We do. But I think it's because someone said his art sucked and he just couldn't handle it. So.
Oh my gosh, you said he's Art Attack. No, he was a cool guy. He kept me a lot of company when I was watching Art Attack.
Watching a bit of Art Attack, get you through the day.
Learning how to make glue, make wigs out of random hairs I find. That's interesting. Okay, so my question was, like, you know, in gameplay mode, when you're actually building model.
So this is building.
No. When you're like building your army, sorry.
Oh yeah. When you're
building model. When you're constructing your army.
Yeah.
So in that phase, can't you have two different armies joined together? You know how when you fight someone, do you take the pieces afterwards?
No, unless you're playing a type of Warhammer called Street Hammer that I invented. Yeah, that's the only version. Someone today on my Twitter actually offered someone out. Was like, "Don't you fucking talk to me like that!" All in caps. He was like, "I challenge you to a game of Street Hammer for your army," and then tagged me in it.
That is actually underground shit. Yeah. Like, so that's the thing then.
It's a very rare, unique thing, a bit of Street Hammer. But traditionally, no, you just beat each other's stuff up and then you keep your own army because you spent, as you're learning now, a considerable amount of time building it and painting it.
But I think one thing that will make it more interesting is if you could acquire people's stuff, because some people put heart and soul into this shit. So now if you're putting it on the desk to be like, yes, it's all in a gamble, I think it makes the game more interesting. You won't want to lose. If people are truly competitive, I think people will want to do that. I think so. Like, you should put your fucking time and your money on the table. Don't just be like, hey, I won in a tournament. You should be fucking losing some shit.
Let's see what the chat has got to say about that.
What do you guys have to say about that?
Grimtime says, after thinking about some things from yesterday's show, because we did a show yesterday, I think I'll consider myself an aggressive player who likes resilient armies. So, like everyone, that's what I'm saying, Grimtiding. Who likes resilient armies? Stormcast is probably a great army for you then, in my opinion. Stormcast. And then Provotary says the Art Attack guy is still alive. He still sells the occasional paintings. And
you said he died.
I thought he did die.
Hell,
who's Neil Buchanan? Isn't he from Art Attack?
Just died when they haven't died.
Have you glued these together or just?
I haven't glued them together. I'm putting them together so that when I glue them together, I do them all at once. I'm organized.
Oh, okay, all right. Calcoma 1990 says, not into the game, but work at the factory, occasionally checking the streams, good insight to all the entertainment. Oh, thanks, Calliumco 1990.
Calliumco 1990.
Yeah.
What lads? Or ladess? Shokel.
For Dragon Order, I would pick the Order Draconis army. Grim Tiding for your first army. That would be fun. Moon Tyranid says no one would play if you kept your whole other army.
Why?
Well, because you would.
Why would no one else play?
Because you potentially would lose thousands of pounds every game.
But then you could also acquire thousands of pounds. This is for gamblers. I feel like this is the casino version. The casino version of Rogue. Guys were like, yes.
So now we've got the naked version and the casino version.
Yeah, it's for druggies. It's for like ones who are like literally warhammists. Their handle is that fucking unhandleable. They're like, yo, we need to put everything on the table. I'll join those guys. I'll be like, all right, why not put it on the line? Because like, think about it. Like, who's gonna take your stuff back home? Why not take your stuff and someone else?
Because people like their stuff. Look, they built it like it's all pretty.
Yeah, I would build it, paint it, make it pretty, and go gamble that shit away. Why not?
Wow. Okay. All right.
If you think you're that
Genius
good,
will be starting his own tournament soon. If anyone wants to go.
Does anyone want to come and lose?
I imagine almost no people, but that's fine.
Probs not. All people.
Hold on.
Do you know what? No, me and Bex will start it. Then it's like open to both sexes because girls aren't very possessive like guys are with their toys. No, it's true.
Some sweeping generalizations about gender there.
Oh, fucking hell. I don't want to start a fucking big combo on the feed. We're not misogynistic or feminist. We're neutral. We're asexual.
We're asexual, are we?
Yeah, we're
okay. Asexual
right.
pair.
Can you see? Can you fucking see, Rob?
I see what you've done.
Yeah.
I see what you've done there.
There we go.
Can you see what it is yet? Right, you ready for the gluing?
Yeah, I am fucking ready.
Merchant Prince, I heard a story of a kid who thought he had to throw out his models if they died. He'd been doing this for years until his Games Workshop managers told him otherwise. So he thought they were actually dead and he had to throw them away. Which is so much money in the bin.
I'm telling you. So if you threw them away, why not exchange like...
Also, and as Provoked Tree saying, I have to say that as a dispossessed player, so as a dwarf player, even when I lose my street hammer, nobody wants to take my army anyway. So.
Lol. Is that a taker? But then the thing is, then it's not a thing of possession. Then you're not following the storyline. This is why the reason why I was asking this question. It's very logical because it's not following the storyline, is it? Because when this guy, that destroyer of worlds guy,
Archeon.
Yeah,
Archeon. You remember him?
Yeah, I was paying fucking attention.
Okay, yeah, good.
Newbie here, fucking paying attention. Street Hammer.
Good.
Yes. Street Hammer League.
Bexy's not here today. Irons 1D1 says, "Hey Rob," and "Hey Genius."
Hi.
But anyway, what you saying?
So my question is that
nothing's getting painted. Just answering that question.
Okay.
Go
on. What was I talking about?
You were saying Archeon? Something about Archeon?
Yeah, if he went and ate up all these other fucking armies, he would have taken slaves and shit. Like, you don't just acquire you don't go and fight an army without taking a plunder. Like, that's not normal. You don't go and destroy a city and not leave without the gold. Like,
right, okay.
Do you know, like, it doesn't make sense to me. This is
you're saying that...
it should be more realistic. I feel like there's not much realism in this. Because you take it that serious. No, I mean, it's not that it's realistic if you can take someone's shit. But it makes it more interesting because it's more like an...
But then would you want football or American football? Would you want them to take each other's shoes when they lost or something?
It makes things interesting. I'm not gonna lie. They can afford a new pair if you're getting paid.
They can. Warhammer
300 grand. Oh fucking.
Yeah, but Warhammer people are getting it.
Don't chat shit.
Yeah, they're not.
You guys pay like fucking models for grands. You're spending $1,000 on the model. You're telling me you can't afford to.
Wait, no, not often. Not often $1,000 on a single model. Mr. Tumner says he played Casio Hammer. I think that's what Casino Hammer moons ago. Played at Casino in Nottingham while on staff training. Screamed irresistible force and rolled 666. The lady at the table just sighed and says, "Do you lot work at Games Workshop then?" Nice.
No. This is not sticking together, Rob.
Hey, me smash. Huh? It's not sticking together? Well, then you didn't try fit it well, did you? I'm just saying. You need to learn to be better at this. That's your first one, though. That's the first thing you've ever stuck together.
Jesus Christ. You need to learn to be better.
You just got to learn to be better.
Okay, Jad. I will. Anyway, if Genius likes NFL, get him into Blood Bowl.
Yeah, you would like Blood Bowl.
What's Blood Bowl?
So it's American football, but you play with orcs and like elves and dragons and shit. No dragons. There's no dragons. But there's, and you play on a board and there's a little ball and you throw it around and then people say blitz and
I
they
would
get
take that
super
to
excited.
a Netflix and chill, man.
Yeah.
I would take that shit to a Netflix and chill. Like, hey, man, I got my board game.
Moon Tyranid. Look, that's Moon Tyranid is showing us that's his hobby station now. Told you. That's how everyone's. Look, he's got like a little model there. That's the Gene Silicate model in the back. Why has he got that?
You guys are so
Along with
cool.
some corn dudes over there, like a weathering set, an air gun. See what I mean? Like everyone's just got stuff everywhere. That's just how life is.
Alright, bro. Sorry. Shit. There's stuff everywhere, man. Like, we can't deal with natural being tidy.
So how's this going? Going well?
So far, all right.
Okay, that seems
I
okay.
wouldn't say amazing, because
Alright.
this is a dumb epoxy fucking cement shit.
Why?
Because
So
I'm talking about the formulation of it, because like if it's gonna melt the fucking thing,
the plastic.
it shouldn't have to melt the plastic. It should have a bond in it that it bonds to the plastic and it bonds to itself without.
Well, it's quite good because when it does do that, it means like the gaps are a lot closer because obviously the detail is so incredibly fine.
Boy,
When you when you're painting,
do you not think I know that?
I'm just saying, like even that will show up underneath the like super thin paint. So
No, young man.
people sometimes build them in stages and then paint them and then finally stick them together afterwards. Really good painters. That's obviously not how I do it. I just stick it all together and paint it.
These gaps are annoying.
Blood Bowl instant Netflix and chill sexy time.
No, honestly, I think
you can even play it on your PlayStation. So you can be like, check out my Blood Bowl game, and then you can play some sexy Blood Bowl and chill. Yeah, I feel like that's up your street. Next time we're playing a game of Blood Bowl, some Blood Bowl and chill.
What is that?
That's that sports game.
So do you play with this? I mean, do you play with Warhammer shit?
What?
Am I being?
No, there are models that you build and paint, but it's not quite set in the Warhammer universe. But they are based on some of the Warhammer models. But they have their own model range. They're really great models. Really cool. It does bond plastic. We just say melt because it's an easy way to explain what is happening. This is Provocatory, so he's helping clarify that. That was some noob teaching for me. I apologise.
It erodes the fucking plastic. This is my fucking point.
Hey, it works real nice.
My point is that it fucking is corrosive.
Tywin says, I would do Street Hammer. Is there a Dom Toretto Fast and Furious type running it and make it unrealistic, dramatic for no reason? That could be you.
Yeah, exactly.
That can be you.
That's all you have to do with something. I think it would just make it a lot more fun because some people aren't that fucking precious with their shit. Like, some people really don't mind.
Some people really are, though.
Like, yeah, some people really are, and they're the fucking pussies that won't come to the show. It's for people who got real fucking balls and real fucking vaginas, okay?
I don't think you understand how long people spend.
No.
Because it's a super expensive hobby, and then you've got, like...
Who gives a fuck,
Loads of people, man.
So what? Like, cars, like, people who buy cars, that's a super
but there's not
hobby.
everyone who's into cars. Like, for some people, they just go
Not
out...
everyone's into this!
No, but some people go out and they buy one army a month, or they buy but there's some guys who, like, they go, right... I'm buying one model, and then like 6 months later, they can afford to buy the next thing because it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, then they won't come unless if they're willing to come.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not by force, bro.
But it's not.
Shit.
Yeah, but it's
Why
not.
Don't you want my fucking thing to get off the fucking ground?
I'm so
Why are you
sorry.
like fighting me, man? Shit.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
That's not my plan. Gruby says sub assemblies are the bestest, which I agree with.
I think it would just be fascinating.
So a lot of people, some people use a file, some people use a scalpel, but I've really learned to embrace this tool over the course of X amount of time.
Are you like promoting this?
I just like it. Like, so these are shit. Like, I've had, obviously I worked at Games Workshop as well, so like I must have like purloined several dozen pairs at some point. But yeah, these fall apart. The spring breaks in them. I think I've had like 5 pairs, and the spring has broken every single one.
Why did they put a fucking spring in it?
But a pair of £2 just regular clippers from your local hardware store are always better. Just dozens times better than those, and those are 20 quid. £2, 20 quid. Yeah.
Wow.
But this thing's good.
So smart.
Andy McPherce is now stalking us. It's weird, isn't it?
Who's stalking?
Stalking.
Okay, it's the money degree to the...
Do you have a favorite army or model?
But then that's the whole joy of it. We invest our fucking lives into time and get married to bitches who we fucking divorce. Bitches also applies to men and women, by the way. Just before people are like, oh my god, he's talking about women.
You can get married in India now, that's cool.
But,
if you're gay. Wait, I mean, straight as well.
Gay!
It's not like they've switched it. They're like, right, all straight people, no marriage for you. Gay people, you're in.
I think the world has evolved.
Try some Gunpla side cutters, Rob. I'm going to go Google that. Gunpla side gun.
But someone needs to make a new cement, please. Thank you. I'm just saying.
Well, that's the one I like.
It should not melt the fucking plastic. It just kind of defeats the entire purpose of making something. It doesn't. Yeah,
everyone uses that. It works real well.
Everyone uses that.
Lee Bromley says, Moline Scraper tool. That's this. Is the best the best tool Games Workshop ever released. I really like it. Preferably, I use a modelling knife since I can use it to get rid of live bits of flash as I get rid of mould lines, less tool swapping.
Knife.
Yeah, I don't tend to use. I just can't get. I always scrape off too much with a knife.
Because you don't have an agile hand. You
That's
have
fine.
to have precision. Well, you can learn. It's the same way I'm learning right now.
You're learning, I know. But I've learned this way. I've learned badly.
Are you stuck in your ways now?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. This tool, I love this tool. This tool's great. Although the one thing I will say is you do get covered. Look, covered in little bits. So it's you got.
You just get a coat.
There's a really cool guy called Vince Ventrella, who does a show called Warhammer Weekly, and he wears this absolutely kick-ass apron every time he does hobby. Yeah, really he styles it up, man. It just makes it look real swish. Hi, Tom. Tom from the 40k show.
Hello, Thomas.
Have you taught him how to shake and bake yet?
Timing liquid is the best, although Genius likes using the full bottle on one part as well. Well, it's not fucking sticking anything, is it? Like,
so this is the best. This is the best. The stuff you're using.
It's not the fucking best, man. Just because two people think it's the best does not make something the best.
I don't know if you've looked around the room, but I built a lot of Warhammer.
I know you've built a lot of fucking Warhammer. I'm just saying. I'm not like faulting you people who build it and use it and think it's the best. I am fucking faulting the people who formulated it. I think it shouldn't erode plastic. I work in the fucking lab, man. This is just science.
Well, then why don't you make us some fresh stuff?
I haven't got the chemicals to do that shit. I'm just moaning about it. Because it's me.
Everyone, don't worry. You've now become a professional Warhammerer. You now are complaining constantly. That's what everyone who gets into Warhammer does.
I think something like this shouldn't be a problem, though. Should it?
That's what everyone about Warhammer says about all elements of Warhammer.
Epoxy on fucking plastic. Or maybe they should just make them out fucking 3D print them out of a new polymer. Why not just make it out of a different plastic so that it's not fucking eroding?
Because then they would have to update the whole line.
They don't have to fucking update anything. They can just stop using cheap fucking
Why is this the issue you've turned up with? Who knew that this would be an issue that you
No, it's an issue because we're making something and it could be quicker. And I studied architecture, so you have to make models. That's why I am applying a lot of fucking glue. You don't want mistakes happening, boy.
Pookie John says, "Grats on level 2 genius, becoming a complainer about the hobby."
Level 2.
Look, there you go. Dude, Day says, "Genius. If you just if you put the parts together, you can just dab the glue on in the joint, and capillary action will run it around the joint for you."
Look at those fucking tips. And you didn't give me no tips.
Tips. Those are better
no
hobbyists
love,
than
no
me.
Tips. You guys are amazing.
Those guys are better hobbyists than me.
Don't use glue.
Oh, no.
Glue melts the plastic because when it dries, the two pieces dry as one piece of plastic and it bonds together. I know how fucking glue works.
So we're still...
You were right about the Baroque tree.
We're still live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it says OBS has crashed. But as long as I don't press the button, I think it should stay live.
I think you should press the button.
No, we're not. Because then we'd have to restart the stream, and I can't do that. That would make us like Games Workshop, and we're not doing that.
Ooh. What a smart person. Who was it that suggested me to put this thing? What's the handle?
It was Dude Our Day, I think.
Dude Our Day, you're the guy.
You're the
gal. Guy or gal. Guys and dolls.
There you go. The glue
just guys and dolls.
So to let you know, the glue melts the plastic because when it dries, the two pieces of plastic.
I know how glue works.
Oh,
for fuck's sake. I know how resins and epoxies work. I genuinely do know how it works. I'm just saying, if you use a different polymer, you won't have that because it fuses together. Oh my gosh, don't worry. Never mind.
You really have become a stage 2 hobbyist, haven't you?
No, this is not stage 2 hobbyist. This is just science. If people who are smart made this game, they should be smart enough to make things that
no one ever
are
accused.
not going to piss.
No one ever accused model floggers of being smart. That's never happened.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Fuck.
No one's ever accused the modelflogger.com website. There you go.
I feel like if you're building things for smart people, you shouldn't make smart people have a very hard time playing with it.
It's
right,
like, so
it's
so
not
what,
like they make
can we
dildos
move on
with
from
other
this subject?
shit. Okay,
because this subject's boring.
Okay, sorry. It's just literally ran in my head right now happening.
So what? It's because you're doing it right now.
Yes, that's why.
Okay. So what? You know, last time when we talked, were any of the models that stood out as your favourite model?
Favorite model?
Yeah, someone asked you that earlier.
Favorite model? I don't think I can have an opinion. This is like my second time being exposed to it, and it was like my first time. I wouldn't say favorite, but I think I like the sea monster thing.
Oh, the Deepkin.
Yeah.
The Deepkin, as they're known.
I like them.
Yeah.
Only because they're sea things.
Sea turtles.
Sea turtle. Look at all these chickens.
There you go. Dude Ideas donated you 100 bits for making you lol.
Thanks. Thank you for your 100 bits.
Hold on, Tom showed me something. Hold on. Tom,
Young Tom,
who does the show on Thursday with us, will be live on Thursday. He sent us this. Ooh. A dark Eldar. Oh, that's cool. It's a Reaper. Look at that. So a lot of companies like alternate model websites design.
And they make them shit.
They make something similar, but slightly different, because some people like having different models. Warp spiders. Cool. Different warp spiders.
See? Then you can collect those people's
models. No.
I'm telling you, man.
Stop trying to make
Hammer
everyone...
Amazing.
Street Hammer's already happened.
Street Hammer.
I already lost an army to Jack Armstrong. 50
Jack
quid.
Armstrong, what a lad. Well done.
Down the bin.
Why not?
Yeah. So you like the Deepkin dudes, did you?
Yeah.
Everyone out there, is there a type of model range you think that Genius would appreciate or like, knowing that he's well into gambling and nudity are the two things that we've established so far on the show?
This is just a question that I had. I feel like...
What do you feel
only
like?
Because men... It's like a male-dominated game. This is why you guys are just mad. It's like some of us are not... can't function.
What, without women in the room?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Difficult.
You idiot.
It's difficult! That's why.
That's right, Fire Slayers. He's got it right. Provoke Tree. Look, these guys.
Ooh, look that I learned. That was so
Look at these guys. Fire Slayers. Look, they're basically naked.
They look cool.
Yeah, basically naked, and they love making money.
Damn, what? You know me well.
Yeah, you're a Fire Slayer.
Making money.
You can even do your hair like that a bit. We can get your hair like that.
That is fucking
Is it? Have you dyed the top? Have you got like a tint on the top?
No, that's the swimming pool chemicals.
No, come on.
No, it is.
It does. You look like one of them, one of them Crest dolls that you buy.
That's so cute, thank you. That's really sweet.
There is also an army called the Daughters of Cain who are naked.
Yes,
but they don't
I've seen the Daughters of Cain. You showed me last time.
But they don't like gold. They like just murdering each other. And other people at the same time.
That's not that much fun if you don't get gold out of it. So nah.
Papa Warcrimes asks, "What's Street Hammer and how do you lose to Jack?" Street Hammer is where you get a start collecting box of a game system and you play someone else with start collecting box.
No, you bring your army, I bring my army. We fight. If you lose, I take your army.
That's Advanced Street Hammer. And then you
play
play the 3 Street Hammer scenarios which we developed.
Yeah, you play to win.
And then whoever wins the scenarios wins the other person's army. Yeah. You can't paint your army for Street Hammer.
Why?
It's not allowed. Because it's got to be like the streets.
No, the streets have colour too. Fucking hell, bro. Shit.
The streets are grey and
dark.
The
streets are grey and dark, dude. Like, we've been like just cutting shit and just coming to gamble grey. No. You have to colour that shit in. You have to put in the time and the love into the model. And then come and gamble your love away.
Gamble your love away.
That's what people are doing every single fucking day.
What, with money? They usually
No, with anything. Like, people are gambling their lives away with so many random things. So
Such as?
You give your time to so many random things. Some people masturbate for 5 hours. Fucking 5 hours! And no one pays you for those 5 hours.
I mean, you're paying yourself. paid yourself. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Or like some other shit that doesn't really equate to anything, like things that don't matter. But mainly so.
It's definitely something on your mind today. I won't lie. It's not Warhammer.
No, it is Warhammer. I think sexual references.
Moonturner says he gets paid, but we'll stop encouraging him. Chat. Yeah. Look, you made 5 people leave the chat. Right? They just left. They were like, "I've had enough of this."
Yeah, they can leave. It's fine. They don't have to stay.
What is by the way? What is everyone who's watching?
Bad bandwidth. You never know.
What is everyone who's watching today? Are they modelling? Are they just hanging out? Are they?
Why don't they talk? Ask questions.
They are. I'm asking them. I'm interacting with them and asking them what they're up to. Are they painting, building? Are they not?
Make me sound like I'm so mean. It's like, do you know what? It's just the same thing as if we were on Periscope and we went live on Periscope. You know what? People would just watch and they would not say anything. People are so into just watching shit and not saying anything.
Are you super upset?
No, I am not upset. I'm just saying. This is just a fact, man. Like, come on, ask us questions.
Mr. Ector and Synchronize are both working.
Ooh.
Working.
Are you guys making your models? Are you, like, painting?
No, they're working. They're literally working.
Oh, and watching shit.
Yeah.
I forget people multitask. Sorry.
Oh, you can't really do that as a. You like to do that in the lab? You get to watch stuff and listen to stuff?
Yeah.
That's
I
nice.
listen to music in the lab. We're making stuff.
There you go.
It's more interesting.
So I have to paint an entire army by the weekend.
Why
I have a tournament this weekend and I forgot to paint my army. I thought it was next weekend.
What will your tournament be about?
It will be a space tournament where I'm taking the space clowns. Yeah, and I'll be battling other people, big golden fellas, giant night robots, which are basically space tractors. I'll be battling. There'll be a lot of other elves, but mainly the boring ones who are super boring. And then who else will I be battling? What will there be a lot of? There'll be some plague bearers, probably. There'll be some evil elves. That's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. They're
working. Someone's been at hospital. Get well soon.
Oh.
Get well soon, hospital. I've made those.
I have not finished my army this weekend. I was like, it's next weekend, and then I looked and I was like, holy fuck! But that's where because it's quite laughable for 40k. Because for Age of Sigmar, I'm used to painting like 90 to 100 models for an army, whereas for 40k, I've got to paint like 30. So it's going to be a laugh.
30?
Yeah.
You say 30 like it's not a lot.
It's not at all.
Is it not?
Hook and Pin, just been relaxing. I've been at the dock state. It's all good. I'm glad you're better. Well, not better, but I'm glad the docks is cool. Shadow Caesar, painting some Cabalite warriors. Slowly have to go to work soon. It's always the challenge.
Sorry.
Always the challenge. Volley Fire and Andy, I'm making some scenery for a display game I'm putting on at War Game Show on Saturday. It's inspired by the Expendables movie. That's cool.
That's
cool.
Cool.
Have you seen not Arnold Schwarzenegger, because that's not who it is, Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone working out for the new Rocky film. No, new Rambo film. One of the two, new Rambo or Rocky.
There's a new Rambo film?
Yeah, and he's like 75 and he's just like lifting iron and he's just like, I'm going to be the best, Adrian. I'm going to do it. It's like, why don't you get like some speech lessons instead of doing some weights?
So mean, bro.
Stallone
alone.
Yeah, I'm taking the clowns. I'm taking. Do you want to hear the list?
What is?
Dionysus. Do you want to hear the list?
What is the list?
I'll see if he wants to hear it first. Probably doesn't want to. Moonturner has also said, "Fuck you, Rob. I have to paint 200 models for his army. 200, which is a lot. That's plenty of dudes. So, which bit you got to build next?
I'm just kind of cutting them all out, and then I'm going to group them outside.
You're right? All right. Okay. I suppose yours isn't numbered, is it? So you can just do what you want.
It's not really numbered, no.
Okay.
So, kind of going with the flow, you know.
Just going with it.
No, it's easier this way. I work visually. Like, I like to put things in order.
Sylvester Stallone is 72 and absolutely ripped. Yeah, he's a badass. Like Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston gets older and hotter. She does.
But she doesn't have very good taste in men.
I mean, Brad Pitt's a great guy. He's just the wrong guy for her.
Yeah, you're right.
What? You don't like Brad Pitt?
No, I think he's a great guy.
What are you saying?
He's not the perfect guy for Jennifer Aniston.
That's what I'm saying. It's because we are together.
No, singular.
I'll
try, and then if it doesn't go very well,
Hi, Twitch of Aziliath. Just back from beating up the space puppies again. Oh,
hey, you have a girlfriend?
I don't have a girlfriend, but I do have a girl who I'm seeing quite a lot of, and I think she's beautiful and lovely.
Yeah, not more than that.
I haven't asked her to be my girlfriend yet.
Oh,
hopefully she's not
awkward.
watching.
So Shakira likes to get younger, and yeah, she does. Actually, I agree.
What's an appropriate amount of time before you can ask someone to be your girlfriend?
I don't think there's an appropriate amount.
I don't think so either. I think it's basically at that stage now. We just haven't had the talk. Do you know what I mean?
What is the talk though? There's no such thing as the talk.
There is. You just say, sup. And then she goes, sup.
Why can't you just talk about something openly?
It's like, what you saying? Just like,
what you saying?
Nothing. Why are you being weird?
Nah,
why are you being weird?
Like, no, why are you being
I'm not
weird?
being weird. Why are you being weird?
It's like, no, you started this. You're going to have to say something now. No, I don't know. I don't think there is
appropriate amount of time.
Yeah, I think you could just talk to someone if you know you want something that bad. You go and get it.
If you guys have listened to if you're on Patreon and happen to have listened to the recent podcast that I did with the Australian Dispossessed Dan, I gave a small reveal about an occurrence that occurred the other day between me and said lady. It's a worthy listen. It's a worthy listen. Right.
But we're here to talk about Warhammer, right? Not relationships.
Let's just move on. I think Tuesday's show can cover all. I'm super into emotional honesty, so just whatever's in your heart and your mind.
I don't know. Like, okay, so what are they expecting to hear from us? Like today, we're kind of like just.
We're just hanging out and building stuff. They're watching you enjoy. They're watching you like some maniac child, just cutting out the whole sprue. He's not following the instructions. He's just cutting shit out.
Bro, that's fucking long, man. Some of us work different. It's just long to do stuff like that. Why can't you just group everything together, make it, and then just piece it all together? It's like building a house. I say that like I built a house.
Moon generally reckons it should be at least 2 dates. Good. Diagnosis says 4 years. So there's a big strong. There's a strong.
4 years.
4 years.
Fucking 4 years.
He's like, you're working for it. You are working for it.
What?
4 years. Yarfest. I'm here to bully Rob on his painting skills, even though I have myself no skill, which is fair. Regarding the reveal, I've not had that myself, but I've had girls do that lot.
Damn, like you guys do not
mess about.
Stop.
So, what was I saying? What were we saying? The list that I'm taking to Heat this weekend is 2 Shadow Seers. 2 Shadow Seers. They are clown wizards in space.
Ooh.
So 2 Shadows.
Do they look like one of those wizards there?
No, it's actually, I'll show you. They look like this.
Show me, Daddy.
Oh, I just broke his bloody staff reaching for him. Shit. Shit.
Yeah, you better get that really amazing cement on it.
I will. So that's
cement.
them. Yeah, and that's because, and I'm taking 2 because I want the psychic powers that they have, and I'm doing a bit.
Is this now you're going to show us how to actually use it?
And I'm doing a bit of redundancy. I'm doing a bit of redundancy because, as we know, there's going to be loads of Imperial Knights out there, and they're going to have shield breaker missiles, and so I think I'll lose one of my Shadow Seers quite easily. So I don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm taking 2 of the same.
Oh, bugger indeed.
Exactly. Tactics. Hey Rob from Nikos and Amy. Oh, Nikos and Amy are hanging out. That's cute. That's his girlfriend. She works up at the Chinese supermarket just up the road.
Yo, get me discount, Amy, please. Thank you.
Oh yeah, because you love food.
Literally
you
need to
love
get that
food.
Asian food with discount because that shit needs to come.
There you go. I've saved
get
that.
udon.
I've saved that.
Amy, plug me up.
Amy, don't do that. That's okay. Anyway,
hey, maybe I like being gay.
Right.
Yeah, are you gay shaming me, Rob?
So 2 Shadow Seers is what I'm taking, and then I'm taking a troop with 5 fusion pistols, and they're obviously going to be.
What kind of damage do those fusion pistols do, man?
Strength 8 minus 4 d6 damage.
Oh shit, he knows.
Yeah.
You know your shit. Do you have to like
6-inch range though? That's the issue.
Damn, we got that 6-inch.
Well, some people.
How many inches?
You've asked an interesting question there. Some people don't hardly know their rules at all when they turn up on the table, and my mission is to try and. That's why I'm only playing the Space Clowns for the next year. So I'm not playing any other army apart from the Space Clowns. So I can learn my rules better. And then a troop with all fusion pistols. They're obviously in a Star Weaver. A troop with all caresses. And then just splinter pistols. They're just good in combat. And they are in another Star Weaver. Yeah.
Oh,
and then,
combat.
And then another basic troop just with splinter pistols and blades, and they are in a Star Weaver as well. And then six Skyweaver bikes with oh dear, what are they called? They've got certain type of gun, which is, let's see if it says it on here for me. It doesn't help me out, does it?
This would be a bad.
They've got Zephyr Glaives. They've all got Zephyr Glaives. So
what's
2 units.
Zephyr fucking glaive?
That guy. So he's got a big stick. See what I'm saying?
Damn, you got a big stick.
You got a big stick. Oh, it's a glaive, isn't it? Literally in the name of Zephyr.
Glaive of Zephyr.
And then whatever the gun is that does mortal wounds to vehicles, which I forget the name of it. So 6 of them times 2, so 12 in total. And then another 4-man Skyweaver unit who's got Star Bowlers and again the mortal wound gun. Super fast, super mobile. Oh, and obviously, most importantly, the Solitaire with a suit of hidden knives. So
was it picked for you, or you picked it specifically?
I picked this army specifically.
Sounds like you did.
It's meant to really upset some people because most people in 40k don't know that you can't. That you have to attack in close combat. So I can make a unit -4 or -3 to hit. Basically, 2/3 of the attacks that they do will cause themselves to have a mortal wound. So his job is to go and kill hordes by them killing themselves, is the plan.
I see.
Which I think will be pretty fun. And then kill all the vehicles on the board because there's going to be loads of Imperial Knights. I'm just going to shoot them all. And then when I play Dark Eldar, I'll probably just cry.
Nice.
That's my tactic.
That sounds exciting, Will.
Dionysus has played a big RTC this weekend. I've played nothing but clowns, Dark Eldar and Eldar. I have to say, I wasn't impressed by the Shadow Seers. Their job is just to do those two psychic powers to make the Solitaire loads better. That's their job. But I've got an entire year, to be fair, to improve this list, change it around. So this is just its first run out. It's just its first tournament. I'm not going to just change army overnight. I'm just going to stick with what I got. So I'm going big on the bikes this time round. And then if I want to change it up next time, I will.
Well, I hope you win.
Thanks. I don't think.
Are you playing to win?
So yeah, this is definitely a more competitive army than the army I've taken before.
It sounds really competitive. If
but
you were going to say no, I was like,
lies. But I do have
fusion pistol ?
Fusion pistol, yeah. So the troops can have fusion pistols. I think they're called fusion pistols. Pretty certain they're called fusion pistols. And you can have 5 in a squad. So there's literally a group of dudes. So you get in one of these, yeah. And then they literally fly by. So you do drive-bys.
Fly by.
And then 5 of them shoot out of there, and they just go pew, 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 pew. And they can blow up like a massive robot.
And you're telling me you can't have
Street Hammer.
What
Roadman Hammer? Is that what you want to play? Roadman Hammer.
Maybe it should be Roadman Hammer. Maybe it should be. To appeal to our special young.
Do you think that they'll nerf Haywire this way around? I don't think so. I don't think they see it as much of a problem. I think they'll more attack the units than they'll attack the weapon profile, personally. But we'll see. That's a great question. Plus, we've obviously got 3 years until the FAQ comes out. How's the mortal wound thing going to work against hordes? It won't work against hordes, but it is still a unit of 6 bikes is going to do D6 shots.
What's a D6?
D6 shots per biker. So it's you roll a dice, 1 to 6, and that can be how many shots you got. So statistically, I should be doing 11. 22, 21, 22, let's call it 22 because it's easier. 21 because it's easier for the maths. Shots a turn, hit on 3s, which means 14 are going to go through, which means I give them 7 mortal wounds, 9 mortal wounds because 6s cause D3 mortal wounds.
So how far do you
move? So they shoot 24, they move 16, but they can also, they're assault weapons as well, so they can also move an extra 6 inches as well. So you're basically going, you can potentially, you've got a 40-inch threat range, but a 46-inch potential threat range, but it does mean you don't hit as well. But a unit of 12 bikes or 2 units of 6 bikes will bring an Imperial Knight down and kill a big robot in a turn. Yeah. So that's the plan. Just kill them robots.
Sounds like you have a very clear strategy which you just shared with everyone, whoever's going to the tournament.
That's fine. That's fine. There's not really much because they would have to paint new units by now. And I don't think
maybe some people are crazy enough to do that.
I think there are other people that it's not the best army in the world, but it's a really fun, interesting army. So you see, I'll show you. There's a guy. This is why I'm playing Ingenious, because of this fucking guy. Right. So do you remember me talking about Slanesh earlier?
Yeah.
Right. So this is what's so cool about this army. Let me show you.
What is
Right.
so cool about this army?
So this is a troop, yeah, of dudes. So this is like the basic infantry squad that you get, right? And they're all players in like a play, right? So they tell a story, and when they're on the battlefield, they're literally jumping around and chopping off heads as part of a tale in a story. Yeah. This guy is unique. He's the only one in the army who can be him. It's because he plays the god Slanesh, so he's pretending to be him. But he's destined, by choosing to be him, he's destined to eventually get eaten by Slanesh. But he's basically fucking nails. And he can fight anyone in the game on his own. Look at him. Just him on his one.
What's that on his coat?
Huh? There's like
Magic.
prismatic shards.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because he like flips through stuff and he's just generally a badass. And it's just basically I'm playing the whole army for this cool motherfucker and the backstory. So I'm spending a year telling him the whole stuff. One time I will dress as a clown just because it'll make you laugh.
You should just do it.
Like a creepy, weird clown.
You should do it.
Yeah, okay.
You really should do it. Like,
Have you seen that guy? We're in Nottingham, by the way. Have you seen that dude with some clear mental health issues who walks around dressed as the Joker?
Oh my gosh.
Have you not seen it?
No, I haven't seen that.
Like Heath Ledger's the Joker, though. Obviously the best one.
Yeah, he was the best one.
He was on.
He was. Okay, so that goes like that.
Grubby, what do you think? Embraces, kisses, or blades? I'll be honest, Grubby, I've spent about 10 hours working it out and I still don't know. So if that helps you out, I'll tell you at the end of this year what I feel best with. Embraces.
What are you assembling anyway?
I thought you said something about them hurting themselves. Might not have been a bit about hordes. Oh, so basically, this guy, where is he? Where's this guy? Soul Grinder is what you're building.
Soul fucking Grinder.
Soul Grinder. This guy's got a special artifact called the Suit of Hidden Knives. And whenever you attack him in close combat and you roll a 1, you take a mortal wound. But I can make it with a stratagem and 2 psychic powers. I can make this guy -3 to hit. So anything from a 1 to a 4, so 2/3 of all attacks, are going to cause a mortal wound back to the unit. So if a unit does 20 attacks to hit, let's make it easier, 21 attacks to him, they'll take 14 mortal wounds. There you go. 14 mortal wounds.
That's a bit unfair, isn't it?
You do have to do stuff to make it happen, though.
So if you can get a player that strong, would you not gamble everything? Would you not gamble your army if you're playing against someone like that? Someone who had one of those pieces.
The reason I like the army is because it's not the best. It's not a super strong army. It's just going to be a fun army to play. Yeah. You're just going for it. You're not even asking questions now. You're just building.
Yeah, like what is building, isn't it? It's straightforward. Put the piece together.
All right.
Stick glue on it.
Okay.
Put a bit of glue on it.
I
thought we were here to talk about a game.
Yeah. Papa War Crimes likes that story. I did Papa War Crimes. If you go back and listen to the podcasts or the shows, did an entire rundown on the Solitaire. I vowed to stick in Necron and stop changing armies, but Harlequins look so good. Necrons are considered to be one of the worst armies in the game right now. So
wasn't it?
It is an undead space robot Egyptian.
Wow. That's strong.
That's strong.
That is literally strong theming right there.
That's a lot.
So imaginative. The space Egyptian, man.
Space Egyptians.
Skeletal.
Yeah.
Space Egyptian.
I hope to see you at 2 Dionysus.
What are Harlequins?
Harlequins? These. Look. You see? Because they're literally...
Oh, they got the
they're
face.
space jesters.
Oh, Harlequin.
You get it?
Genius.
You get it, bruv?
Genius.
Got it.
Fucking genius.
Fucking genius, you.
Alright then. I've got this part. Now I have to stick these fucking legs on.
You got legs to stick on now.
What does it look like in the picture?
So look on the box.
Look at it on the box.
Look at it on the box. That's always a good reference. Good tip for people. Always use the box as reference. What are you going to go for? Are you going to go for the sword, or is there options?
I want the sword.
You want the sword?
Cool. Like a bit of long sword action.
So this is where it gets really interesting, because this is now, you get into the realms of this thing called WYSIWYG, so what you see is what you get. So the best thing in the game might be, I don't know if there's an axe, but it might be the axe, yeah?
Yeah.
But you like the sword, and then you have to make this decision, am I going to stick the axe on it, which is better in the game, or am I going to have the sword, which I like the look of? You see what I mean?
Choices and decisions are very vast. See, why can't you just have both?
Pardon me?
Can you have both?
No, you can't have. Well, that's the whole point. You can't have both. So most people, because there's loads of different reasons, but some people are like, I get a little bit confused if it's got a sword, but you pretend it's an axe.
Will it actually stand up after it's done?
Yeah, you just got to glue it all together.
Oh, you actually have to glue those contact points.
Yeah. Whoa, dude, you enjoyed it?
Yes, this is cool, man. I like making models. I studied architecture, so
oh, did you?
I don't think this is like something hard to make a fucking model.
Do you think this is easy? I've seen those architecture models.
Yeah, and we use plastic, and I've had to use epoxy, and I think it's very fucking dumb.
Is this issue coming up again?
No, honestly, I think it's not a smart or intelligent thing to use a glue that's going to melt your plastic, because it makes, you can see that it's melted the plastic. I don't want to melt the plastic. Why not? Why can't I just not melt the plastic? But anyways, the issue's over now. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Is it fine though?
So what some people do is they would magnetize the sword or the axe or like the model in the building step process, so that they can obviously do both at the same time, or they can chop and choose as they prefer.
Yes. Even though it looked like I was doing nothing, here you fucking go.
Look at that! You made a.
Right, let's try and assemble this.
No, now don't stick it on the base.
I'm not sticking it.
Mainly because that's a square base, and no one uses square bases anymore.
You wouldn't even fit in that bullshit.
They're not in fashion.
They're not in fashion.
No.
Do you use circle ones now?
Yeah,
hexagonal ones.
Yeah, we do. No, circle ones.
Ooh, sorry.
It's okay.
No angles. Why not polygons? What's wrong with polygons?
That was a massive issue at one point.
Was it?
Yeah, because everyone's army. Well, in fantasy, everyone's armies were on square bases, and then Games Workshop was just like, "Oh, okay, actually, we're going to put them all on round bases, so you're going to have to rebase your whole army." Some people were very upset because they'd spent a lot of time painting their bases as well.
So, no one likes an angry nerd. No one does. Because they're angry as fuck.
They're so angry.
Ah! I was an angry nerd growing up. Won't lie. Yeah, so now I need to do the next part. Yeah, bitch. I've done all of that. See, didn't even look at that.
What's wrong?
I'm just saying.
I'm
commending myself for my building skills.
You enjoyed it?
You're not giving me any.
I think you're doing really. I think you're doing really well.
Praise me, Senpai.
I think you're doing great.
Praise me. Okay, so now we're doing these guys. Ooh, these are multiple parts now. Fucking hell.
Bexy's going to be back soon.
We need Bex, right? Thank you. I messaged her today. I was like, shame on you for not coming. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
We need that.
She'll be back soon. She'll be back soon. She's just going through a lot at the minute.
Clearly.
Mainly half a Nottingham. Hashtag.
What? I wasn't in that joke. I was drinking my drink.
Say what?
You have no chill, Rob.
Let's never talk
Zero
about that.
Fucking chill. On live stream as well.
I know, right? Everyone in the world heard. Get Genius one of the old metal killer cans so you can experience the 90s. Yeah, back in the day, they used to make models out of metal. Some were made out of lead. You know,
for real?
Yeah, and people had to stick them together, and they're all triggered, and they're like, "This is so hard." So yeah,
because they're fucking pussies. This is so hard. I know I complained about the glue, but I'm getting on with the job, right? So hard.
It is tough.
But then, if it was made out of metal, you could then magnetize the edge. Ooh, it's getting interesting.
No, it was too hard. It was too difficult. I'm glad I wasn't around for the metal era. That would have been a ball ache, in my opinion. Because then if you drop it once, all the paint chips off.
Why does everyone use that term?
All the paint chips off.
Why does everyone say something is ball ache? My balls never ache.
Mine do.
Sorry. Oh my gosh, can we just change the subject?
I was in a mosh pit when I was like 22. Yeah, and this guy called James Plum fully hit me in one of the nuts. Yeah, my left one. Yeah,
one of many.
One of. So then I nicknamed that testicle after him because it's hurt for the next 4 years. I even had to go to the the doctor to go be like, look, come on, have I got the cancer? And then she was like, no. Bro. And then I'm like, do I take my socks off for this exam?
Oh,
she goes,
don't.
And she's like, it's not that sort of an environment, actually, sir. And I was like, that's fine. That makes sense. Oh, also had to explain to her I was a grower, not a shower. But everyone has to explain that at some point.
So traumatizing. Bro, stop. Right. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
We're getting somewhere. We talk a bit fiddling about. Nah.
Grubby says, I'm still using metal models all over the place, and yes, chipping was so much worse, and they all fought and broke and no bouncing, just smashed, just obliterated.
Good. That is very, very fucking
Twitch
good.
Resilient says, second edition Space Marine Land Speeder is the hardest thing to glue together ever.
What? What's the hardest thing to do?
The second edition Space Marine Land Speeder.
The chipping was...
So yeah, like, because basically, like, so you move your model being like, oh, I dropped it, and then plastic one's fine. Metal one, basically a bit flies off over there.
How can a bit fly off something that's metal?
Because you glue it with super glue together, and it'll just, because super glue is super fragile.
Oh, it's shards.
But
why are you using super glue on metal? Why not just use solder? Why don't you just solder it?
Because they're tiny. You can't solder it.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. Has anyone ever soldered their metal models? By the way, these are all professional model builders.
It's clearly not that professional. I'm just saying, you should adventurize stuff, man. Innovate shit. There's loads of people who innovate things themselves, and they life hack the fuck out of things. I think that's the whole point. I think you have to push the boundaries. Change your medium, man.
You more likely solder your fingers. Moon Turner has tried and failed because it's very difficult to do. Stop.
What soldering guns are you using? What temperature is it coming at? Maybe you should change.
Who are you? Who are you to turn up and be insulting the whole group? Yeah, you build this first, and then build a metal model.
Clearly,
and then
I'm getting further than most people. Anyway, I'm just genuinely thinking you guys don't.
You want to innovate. You want to innovate the building experience.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I'll take that.
Totally, man. Okay. Now I need to actually read. There we go. Right. Why does this guy come out like this? Woohoo! Is this everything?
Huh?
This is actually fucking everything, isn't it? Are you sure this is everything, Rob?
Yeah. You've got a Soul Grinder is not a particularly complex kit, which is really nice.
It isn't.
No.
This is why I cut them all out. Oh, he is actually like that. Okay, that is actually.
You okay? You comfortable and confident?
Trying my best.
You're trying your best.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Almost there.
I've almost done it.
I hope so. That's the head, isn't it? There's the head. Ugly old head. Mr. Soul Grinder.
Oh, there you go. The melting point for white metal, which is what it was all cast from, wasn't that much higher than solder.
There we go.
Other people
fucking problem. There we go, right? What did they make it from? Maybe if they made it from something different, it wouldn't be a problem.
But then it'd be more expensive, maybe?
No, it wouldn't be more expensive. We should just change.
Because of China. China. With all of the metal purchasing. I know so much. I don't know why they didn't design them so the wings popped into a socket rather than sitting them in a square hollow.
Why?
That just fell out of. These guys are reminiscing over an old model that was particularly challenging to build. There's a plastic model kit actually, Phoenix Guard they're called, which I actually I bought a box of 4. Well, I bought 4 boxes of 10, intending to take them to a tournament and build a unit of 40. But I ended up just scrapping the whole project because I built 10 and it was the worst experience of my life and I refused to build any more. I was like, no, fuck this. They're still in a box over there. I was like, fuck you guys. They're awful.
So you quit?
And they're plastic and they suck. And they're the worst models to put together ever.
So you're telling me you quit?
Apart from possibly Necromunda models, where the faces are separate to the bodies.
Necromunda models?
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really tough. Miss Stingray just dropped a fine cast Scepter and it bounced. Alright! That's quite a rare model. Although they put them on purchase. So there's been a variety of models over the years, Genius. Before they did this plastic...
Hey, I can't find his face.
His what?
His face.
You cut everything out like a loony. And then, what about on the other sprues?
They're not on there.
Welcome to everyone. Isn't it in your hand?
No, that's his face. I'm talking about his actual face. That's his helmet.
Don't know then.
What is these ugly? Yeah, anyway, continue your story. I'm looking for
So yeah, after metal, but before plastic, and not including resin, which Forge World make models from, which you have to use super glue for. And you also have to
why do all these people make things with dumb polymers? I don't understand it. No, this is a genuine question. If you're gonna make things for smart people to use, don't make things out of fucking dumb things.
Well, maybe I don't know. I honestly, I don't think it's ever. I don't think it's ever come up. Does anyone know anything in the chat about the exact material choices? I know that resin, for instance, that Forge will use is like as a carcinogen, and they advise you towards wear like a mask with it and stuff, and it's
fucking unsafe shit as well.
Yeah, really
it's
unsafe.
So dumb. Like, how fucking idiotic are these?
you've come at building with some real hostility, genius.
No,
I wonder if you're going to come to paint. I wonder if you're going to come to
think
painting with the same hostility. You're like, oh, I'm not sure about.
It's not even hostility. I think it's constructive criticism because
Okay.
I don't think they done enough materials research when they were making what they were doing.
They made a type of basing material. So you get a base,
Yeah.
put models on, and then you can make it like a textured base. They made a snow one.
Doesn't need
They made a snow one, yeah, and it was just 100% microbeads. That's what it was. It was just
Why?
pure microbeads.
Why would you make that like that? How are you going to make it?
Okay,
well,
I'd
why
love to
not?
list those Phoenix guard over any few plastic and all the rest of metal and need halberds pinned on. Oh, that's tough. Grubby, if I find them, brother, you can have them. If you live in a hot country, Finecast turns itself into blob of resin. Yes. So to finish my story, in between this plastic, which I know you don't love, but is the best we've ever had, and the metal models, there was this stuff called Finecast, but it affectionately got nicknamed by the community Failcast because it was not particularly good. Models would come like out of shape and bent, and
What was it casting out of?
what was the material?
Yeah.
I don't know what the material was specifically. It was a type of resin, but it was really bad. Whatever it was. They use materials that are cheap, dries hard, and allows surface tension when melted. So basically, it can flow into details in the mould, and when it dries, isn't going to degrade while handling. Said Provocatory. It's really good. Plus, you need something that you can put into a mould that won't damage it, and you can use hundreds of times. And then the hardening agent is a carcinogen, says Grubby. And then Zyko's done this to Finecast. Because the Finecast stuff was not the best, I think, is the affectionate
But you
way.
guys really love this plastic and that glue then.
That's
That's one of the reasons I wouldn't actually get into this.
It's the best we've ever had. You're not enjoying this experience?
No, it's a fun experience, but I just think like when you're using, it's like when you're model making, you want to use specific.
Isn't that what do they do in like at the air, the model airplane industry? Do you know what they use for that? Maybe it's the same. I think it's the same stuff, honestly.
They can use the same stuff if they want. I still think it's stupid. Like, you don't get my point. My point isn't towards this. It's just towards the mind behind making a choice to use something like that. Like, why would you use an inferior thing to make something that's
When I do the show title, it will be "Listen to Genius Complain About Plastics" for 2 hours.
That's a fucking joke. Don't do that.
Papa Warcrime says Genius was made for Warhammer. He hates it already.
Yes.
You've got the perfect. We found one of us, boys. That's what we found. We found someone who dislikes it as much as we do, and then keeps doing it. That's the plan.
The thing is,
Yeah.
I probably will keep on doing it. However, I won't make any models. I'll just buy them.
You're gonna already built.
You just buy them pre-made. Right?
You can't make it by people. Or you can buy. You get other people to build them for you.
Yeah, just do that.
Like I'm getting
Yeah.
you to do it.
Right. What are you pimping me out for? Okay, I need to build this thing and I need to follow instructions now, so I need to pay attention.
Okay, do you need a hand?
Yes, please.
Okay, what's up? What's going on?
I've got these guys.
Yeah, okay, so like arm sort of bits.
So then why is it that?
So then once that's built, it looks like that, and then that goes into that model, that picture there. You kind of also have to, it's a bit like hieroglyphics, you have to also have to understand where Games Workshop's coming from. So the more instructions you read, the kind of more that you get
used to how
how they think. Yeah.
Instructions.
So then that will...
There's the fucking
that'll go on
face.
there, yeah. But depending on whether or not you're going to want to paint it, that might be good to leave off until after. Yeah, so there's that.
I'll probably want to paint that.
You want to paint that, and then you've got the claw side bits. There's 2 of them there. There's a pin,
those.
and then I'll be honest, no clue what that random.
That's that.
You got that one?
Yeah, I do.
There you go. So it's like a sinewy part. Okay.
See, you didn't even know.
I did not know, and I think it goes in like that.
Okay, thanks. We're done now. I think. But I don't think I can finish this today.
So plastic is the best choice for models because it's cheap as shit, mass produced, can form fine details and doesn't scratch. And you're not really like the detail on these models, Genius, is like absolutely crazy when you go and look at look at that. Look how small in reality that is, but it's still incredibly sturdy. Like if I try and attack it with my finger, it gets nowhere. So you do have to attack it with something.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
I have no problem it being plastic. I'm saying polymers. We're not talking about plastic here. It's a polymer. Plastics are different. Silicon is a fucking polymer. Silicon is plastic too, technically, if you wanted to call it
like
that.
a condom.
Yes. But that's if you use them. Oh. No. But
always do.
Yes, please. Stay safe. Don't spread
Chlamydia is on the rise.
Don't spread AIDS. That's the sinewy part.
Alright, so let's look. Pop Warcram says, Rob, do you think they're going to do an end times type change with 40k? Reading through the lore, it just feels like something big is about to happen. Do you think they'll bite the bullet, make something big happen, or do you think they'll let it stay something is really big about to happen? Papa Warcrimes, you do have to remember that they did just split the Imperium in half. I don't think they really sold that as much as people. I think people were so excited about a new edition of 40k that maybe it didn't pass some people by. But what happened was, Genius, for about 30 years they had this kind of space empire,
yes,
full of humans and space marines and a few other fellas. And then last year, in the summer, they ripped it in half.
Why?
Because there was like a demon invasion. So there would have been some of your fellas invading, and they literally cut it in half. So when people say that are they going to do something big with 40k, they've done something pretty monumental last year with 40k, at least in their minds. You have to recognise sometimes, a bit like when an author like changes like a tiny bit of its character, and some people don't really. It's not as big a deal to the people who aren't the author because they don't really understand how much gravitas that has. But splitting the Imperium in half. I'm so glad someone knows how to use the word gravitas. I try to use it only.
Gravitas. Yeah.
So pretty big deal that they exploded half of like.
Gravitas.
Yeah, of the gravitas. In my opinion, and I don't know if anyone agrees or disagrees. The causes, okay, because something they wanted. It's another discussion. End Times is still my favourite storyline in Warhammer Fantasy Battle. It is good, but they did blow up an entire planet with all of the dudes on. So that was pretty bad times. Yeah, I told you that. Yeah, but people were saying that they enjoyed the story because, like, and you were talking about earlier on, like, do you guys play with like tactics in mind, or do you just are you all master your story? What's nice is that they're both. I'm going to go play all tactics this weekend at a tournament, but I have this like story backing for my army that makes it really exciting. It is really good. That's a really cool bit.
There we go.
How you doing? You're doing good.
Got the arms. Got arms now, son. Got arms now. This is actually quite interesting, quite frankly. Model making is...
It's fun, right?
Puzzle.
Especially when you can equip each. So you see these fellas, they can have a different type of arm, and each one. So that's an Inferno pistol, and that is a Harlequin's Caress. But they can have all sorts of different arms, and even so at this distance, right now you can't really tell. Like that's why you go up close. You're like, oh, he's got this weapon and that weapon. Oh, that's really interesting, and it massively changes the stats in loads of ways. Well, some people don't know what any of them mean, which is fine. They just let their opponent. They just be like, "What's that?" Like, it's this. Like, cool, man. Yeah, appreciate that. Whatever.
Whatever you say.
Whatever you say. Papa War Crimes. It makes a lot of sense. I hope they do more with it and make it feel significant. Yeah, I hope so as well. I'll feed that back to the model blog of vloggers. But yeah, in reality, it would be good and healthy if they were to reinforce that. They tried to reinforce that they blew up half of it. They called it the Dark Imperium. They drew a picture and a map. They had a guy called Reboot Gulliman return after being asleep for 10,000 years.
Why was he sleeping for that long?
Because he got mortally wounded And then a guy called Belisarius Cawl, who's like a half robot, half human, had to invent kind of like a suit of armor that was also a stasis suit at the same time to keep him alive. But he's the leader of the Ultramarines, which a lot of people aren't huge fans of because Games Workshop use them as their like poster boys. So they sometimes get a bit of backlash, and obviously there's a whole bunch of people who like him. But he was their Primarch, so he was a son of the Emperor.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the leader and the dad of all the Ultramarines. So his return was obviously pretty monumental. Also, a living saint returned, a lady called Saint Celestine. She's an actual saint. She comes back to life if you kill her in the game, so you don't have to throw her in the bin. Like that kid.
Young man who threw away his toys. Throw away your well, technically, you can throw away your toys and build new ones. So I kind of get it. It's like throwaway generation, man.
The Harlequins are really solid. It's really, really good. And quite a cheap army as well. And may I suggest, if you're going to buy anything, just get a Solitaire, get a Shadowseer as your 2 start-offs, and get a troop. And then you can just have like a small army based on that. But they're so cheap. And then the bikes, Skyweavers are really, really, really good. Really good. Well, we'll see. I might be wrong. This weekend I might just get my dick kicked in like 5 times, and everyone will be like, "You were wrong." We'll see.
Want that to happen to you?
It's just my term for losing quite heavily.
Talk about your penis like
that. Someone asked earlier if I've played at Kill Team yet, and I didn't answer. I haven't played Kill Team yet, and I don't know if I'm going to, but I might. Kill Team's where you build like 5 models and you just play like small skirmish game. So you haven't got to build like 30, 40, 100 models. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool for some people.
Nice.
Papa Walker, I'm choosing your money on for the next Primarch. I don't think there's going to be a Primarch for a few years, in my opinion.
What's a Primarch?
So that's a son of the Emperor. There were 20 of the sons, and then the Emperor had these 20 sons, and gave to each of them like a Space Marine Legion, so kind of like a Roman Legion. Then he went around the universe conquering the whole galaxy. And then at one point he went back to Earth and was like, Horus, my favourite son, I return to Earth, you lead them, you are now the War Master.
I like the voice, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, I appreciate
Made
that.
it more realistic for me. I was like, oh, I'm into this now. Tell me more.
It went back to Earth for reasons unknown. Horus, the favoured son, the War Master, he then got a little bit like, why has father abandoned us? Maybe we don't need him anymore to rule this land. Yeah. And then he started something called the Horus Heresy, where half of the sons, 9 of the sons, turned traitor, and they along with their legions. So their
How did they turn traitor though? What's the dirty they did?
They attacked. They attacked. So there are 20 sons, 2 of whom we don't know who they are.
Why?
We still don't know.
Are they like?
We never know.
Little love childs he had on the side, like.
No, they were all created at the same time.
How?
Like in like genetic vats, using. You know how I told you about the Chaos Gods?
Yes.
You know how I told you about the Chaos Gods?
Yeah.
He also used a bit of Chaos God in them, which is a bit of a mistake, probably.
Who?
Well, the Chaos Gods are evil.
Yeah.
And then when he made his like super sons, he decided to use some evil ingredients.
Light and dark don't mix, okay? They just don't. Either dark or light, okay? Just don't try it.
Anyway, so then Horus was like, fuck you, Dad. And then 8 of the others joined him. And then they went back to they reconquered the Imperium on the way back to Earth to go fight Dad, and then the 9 good sons battled them along the way. And that became the Horus Heresy in a civil war. And I don't remember why that subject came up. Oh, so that's who the Primarchs are.
You know this story so well. It's like a storyteller.
I don't know it. No, other people know it much better than I. Much better than I. But it's a cool story. So
but
very,
they don't
very
do
cool.
voices.
They do. They're literally audiobooks with voices.
Oh, I would listen to them.
They're great. They're really good. And they're on audible.com. Get your Audible. But everyone has their favourite. It's actually a little bit impolite to actually ever bring up Primarchs or politics on the live stream because everyone's got their own favourite. As you can see, Provoke Tree loves Rogel Dawn. He's the leader of the Imperial Fists, and he loves building walls and standing on them.
Lol, that's cute.
That's his favourite. What's everyone else's?
That's
What's
like
everyone's?
some Humpty Dumpty shit.
He's yellow.
Oh.
He's yellow. Oh no!
Hey.
What's everyone's favourite Primarch in the chat? I'm interested
Primarch.
to know. And also maybe I could tell Genius what they are about while they come up.
Yo, this stuff. Some fucking pumpkin. Yeah, hi. Ferris is still my favorite. Who's Ferris?
For the lion. So Runebeard likes the lion, who is the leader of the Dark Angels.
What's a Runebeard?
Runebeard is his name. That's Runebeard. Then you've got
what
Ferris.
is it?
So then Papa War Machines. So Mr. Hector likes Magnus. There's a very famous quote that Magnus did nothing wrong. Only he did many things wrong. But Russ took it a bit too far. He eventually becomes evil. Papa War Crimes likes Ferris. Ferris was the first to fall. Ferris Manus. So he was the first of all the sons ever to die, apart from the two we don't know about.
How did he die?
He fell to the Fulgrim, the leader of the Emperor's children, in a battle. Fulgrim at this point already had become possessed by a demon. Yeah, pretty cool. Moon Tyranid, I think they're all dicks.
I read that. I was like, whoa, someone is not a fan.
Mr. Stingray likes Lionel Johnson, who's the lion, as we talked about. Smackweeze likes Mortarion, so he's the leader of the the Death Guard, who are the Plague Marines. They're all like for Nurgle and basically into death and stuff, into disease. Poetry likes Rogel Dawn of the Imperial Fist. I know you already mentioned him, but he is worth mentioning twice. The most standy of all of the Primarchs. Vulcan's my favourite because he likes burning things and listening to hip hop.
That's funny.
But he's the most humanist of them all. So some of them would happily sacrifice a planet if it got them the, if it led to a good tactical victory. Whereas
the young man has a conscience, apparently.
Me Smash, thanks for gifting Storm Surge KV128 a subscription.
Ooh!
Also, everyone this
You
week.
got gifts?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Also, if you donate a subscription this month, for the next time they want to subscribe, next month it only costs them $1. So you've actually helped loads of people out. So I want to say a big thank you. You're wonderful, Me Smash.
Meat Smasher.
Sanguinus should have been the War Master, says the Merchant Prince. So Sanguinus was a good guy, but he had wings of an angel. He was the Primarch of the Blood Angels, but was also a vampire.
Vamp?
Mm-hmm. But was a good guy.
That's cool. I like vamps. I like Twilight too. No, wait. You don't like Twilight?
Grubby likes Magnus.
Rob, do you like Twilight or not?
I'm Team Jacob.
Ew.
What's wrong with that?
Jacob's the wolf guy.
Yeah, Jacob's cool, man.
Jacob's not cool, such a pussy.
Jacob's great.
He couldn't get the girl. He's a pussy.
Oh no, he's great. Twitch of the Athletes, the Night Haunter. So he would be a guy who would land on a planet, turn off all the electricity for the planet, take the capital city.
So where's the electric gun? You pay your bill this month.
Murder everyone, hang them upside down, turn all the electricity back on, get all the network news, and film all these people hung upside down.
Like Joker fucked up in the head, kind of.
Yeah, and then he'd be like, "Are you going to surrender or not?" And everyone would be like, "Yeah, it's cool, man. You could have baby asked us from space because we've heard about you, you evil fuck."
Wow. I like his style though.
Storm Surge likes Angron.
Who's Angron?
Angron is named after a local nightclub bouncer called Angry Ron. Not a lot of people know that, but he basically is a genetically engineered gladiatorial super soldier who actually caused a lot of the Horus Heresy. Provotary likes Iron Hands, the Iron Hands with my Iron Hands. Corvus and Vulcan, because they both care about what they're doing. Vulcan about humanity. Petarabo is nice. I like Petarabo. I think he felt a bit sad. Thanks, Me Smash. Provotary, edgy Batman. That's what he's called. Hi, SG Skeleton King. He's just one of the guys watching. Yeah, Conrad Kurz, Metal Gear Beer, liked Conrad Kurz, who is also an evil, super freaky dude.
Okay, so this is like this, and then this guy goes where? There. Okay.
If you just joined us, Genius is building his first ever model, and he's going for the Soul Grind. You're doing really well.
Bruh, I'm amazing.
You enjoying it?
Absolutely fucking amazing.
You got this.
Yes, I am enjoying it.
whenever they do a demon Primarch of Angron, I'm going to be very excited. That's going to look fucking cool.
I think I'm doing really well.
You are doing really well. Everyone's very proud of you.
I feel like a medal or something.
Also, I think Games Workshop should give me a free model for getting someone into the hobby. Do you know what I mean?
Stop fishing for models.
No, we don't get sponsorship from them. We specifically won't ever be sponsored by them on purpose.
Why?
Because we only get sponsored by the people in the chat or on Patreon.
Yay.
That way that they know they get fair, impartial coverage. So we're not paid to give reviews. So you can do faces like this, like, what the fuck is this shit?
Like, what is this? Like, who made these things?
Alfarius would be good. Alfarius would be cool. But I don't know if there'll be a demon Alfarius. That doesn't make sense.
Fucking Alfarius.
Alfarius is... So actually, interesting thing about Alfarius is he's the leader of the... Oh my God.
This is making me so hungry, man.
Of the Alpha Legion. What? Of building this stuff?
Yes.
We'll get some food after. Are you working tonight?
No.
Oh, okay.
What kind of man works after this?
Me?
After making a model?
Me?
Yeah, you're going to be making models for your show, for your tournament.
No, I'm going to be DJing tonight. DJ!
Hit him in the Mason's eye, boy! DJ! Daddy issues should... that should say.
Daddy issues, that should say. Yeah, they basically all have daddy issues. That's why.
They got
that's what happened. That's what
issues,
happened with the Horus Heresy. A bunch of lads, they had some daddy issues.
They actually do seem like that.
Then there was an intergalactic spacewalkers.
It's fine.
Merchant Prince, this is your review. Great hobby, rubbish polymers, 5 out of 7.
Yeah.
The genius review.
Yes. I would say rubbish polymers, great hobby. Then, just in that order. Switch out the order. Just a little bit. Ooh, he's got a claw. It's a rabbit claw. Why is it such a special head? Oh, it looks like that. That's his fucking face. I was looking at his... I was like, where's his face? Look, I thought his face would go there. But his fucking face is right there.
There you go. You found his face.
Me.
Oh, smashed it.
Amazing. What a cool game. When you look at the instructions.
It's a really cool game, man. When you get it on the... See, what's really fun about like the building process, then the painting process, and kind of flies in your...
Ooh, it literally just sticks on.
You need to gamble everything bit that you said earlier. Is once you build it, you've got that kind of like... You got that personal feeling along with the model.
That's why you're meant to fucking gamble it.
No.
Fucking throw it on the desk. Like, yeah, mate, go on, give me your best shot. It's like 2 damage. No! That would be so dramatic. Think about the drama.
It would be the tensest
like,
game. It would be the tensest game of Warhammer I'd have ever played.
Yeah, then you can design a breaking room where people can smash stuff afterwards. Because obviously, you'd have to like grapple the person in some special psychiatric stuff. So
I think they'd be
like,
fine. I think, well, they know,
my
right?
model.
To be fair, I've watched a lot of professional poker recently, and those guys lose like hundreds of thousands of pounds.
That's what I'm saying. It's literally just a fucking game. The same way you making this is just literally you playing a fucking game.
Someone's got an epic 40k Angron. I've never seen that model. That sounds fun. Although, obviously, of all the Magnus models, the original Magnus model was the best Magnus model. Do you want to see the difference, Genius?
Yeah,
so, Magnus.
I don't know why you weren't showing me all the sons anyway.
Horus Heresy. Yes.
Shame on you, Rob.
Shame on you, Rob.
What's wrong with you? No visual aids? What do you call this? No PowerPoint presentation.
So this is what Magnus looked like during the Horus Heresy. So this is
look at all those colours.
Yeah, man.
The golden demon.
But then 10,000 years later. Yeah, 10,000 years
later. I bet he lost all his gold, didn't he?
He becomes a demon prince.
He gets reduced. Ooh, that looks interesting.
Yeah, so he turns into one of those. Yeah. He's got big wings.
Got all these horns out of his chest.
Yeah, well, he already had...
He's got a horny
He had
chest.
them already. See? He had them already. But then there was an original Magnus model.
Were the horns on that?
Just there.
No, on that picture there were no
Just
horns.
try and find it. I can't. There you go. But this was the original model that first came out.
That looks so cute. I like that one more.
But he was a demon Primarch, son of the Emperor.
He looks cute though.
What do you want, that or
Little
this?
Fat... No, I like the little fat.
The little fat one.
Blue guy was like, yo, what's good? I got a mallet in my hand and I'm not afraid to use it.
He looks so much worse.
He looks so upset.
Oh dear.
Look at this finessed model life. Oh, he might be eating a skull.
Oh my god, I've not been funny drunk in a million years.
Thanks,
Mr. Rector.
A funny drunk?
Funny junk.
What's a funny drunk?
Just a website.
Oh, right, sorry.
This is the first and only real Magnus. All other Magnuses are impersonators. I agree.
They are all impersonators.
Oh god, there's so many tiny bits. I can't believe I'm going to try and paint this army in a day. It's gonna be a
You can
nightmare.
do it, Rob.
Huh?
I believe in you.
I think I'll be able to do it. It shouldn't be
Fuck.
It shouldn't be too difficult.
You've done this so many times. You're telling us, like, yeah, man, we're gonna.
I don't know. I need to get practice games in all of Friday. Otherwise, I won't be able to play at the weekend. Just so I can know what to do.
I'll give you a game.
Huh? Any practice games? I can't teach you while I'm trying to practice.
Yeah, you can.
I can't.
Then you're not a master, are you?
I
You are not master now.
I think I am a beginner.
You are still beginner.
I'm still beginner.
Young Padawan.
Some people like do
So
YouTube channels, or they say that they're really good. But
Like, oh, I'm an expert. I'm a level 5 now.
yeah, but I actually think most people are beginners. So
Wow.
my training schedule this year is to improve greatly.
Can I please say something positive about this polymer situation?
Yeah, go for it.
Because the plastic has so many gaps. It's good that that melts it. Like, it's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
How's that?
There you
Fucking
go.
positivity.
It
hurt.
Hi, Eddie Mac. We are making... Genius is building his first ever model, so he's building a soul grinder.
Soul grinder.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna build a soul
I'm going to build a soul.
soul grinder.
I am building
Come and grind your soul at night.
some Harlequin Sky Weavers for the weekend.
He's got clowns in the sky.
Clowns in the sky.
Going to the theatre. You
Oh,
missed your flight, mate. You alright up there? Theatre's down there. Sorry.
Might take a joke book with me and
You
just make
literally
gags.
need to have fucking running commentary.
I want to get one of the little flowers and I'll be like, this is my army list. They'll be like, what is it?
Oh,
Bit of water in the
shit.
face.
Do you know how many people you'll piss the fuck off? You should use varnish remover. Put varnish remover.
Hope you are,
and
man.
then spray their army. All the paint goes flying down. They'll literally probably fucking murder you.
They would. Yeah.
Jeez.
Mr. Stingray says, I'm making some stupid flying boat.
Volunteer. They should fucking pay me. This kind of gold.
What for?
Volunteer him to teach 40k.
No,
Oh,
no.
to
Someone's
teach.
going to teach you. A guy called Tom,
Yeah.
who walks around the table like a predator.
Ooh.
Tom is going to teach you 40k. It would be like he would be like your training guru.
But then I can't beat people and win things off them. This is the thing. I need something that I'm going to
pride and accomplishment like EA.
No, that's not enough. I want physical rewards. I want rewards.
Well, you can win a trophy. Like look at them bomb trophies up there.
Fucking trophy. Give me money.
You can sell the trophy for like £3-4.
No money.
By the way, if anyone would like to buy a South Coast GT 2016 Army for £1,000, please let me know. And I'm
See, you sell your shit, but you won't gamble it.
huh?
You sell it, but you won't gamble it.
Because of course I won't gamble it. I basically gambled to win it.
Ooh, this stuff just sits on. Okay, I see why it's a melting glue.
Oh, Provoke Tree, that's great shout. I'm going to Amazon that
What
tonight.
Rob needs to get one of those electric buzzer rings, so when you shake your opponent's hand.
I'm going to get one. I'm like, nice to meet you. I'm like, whoa! Welcome to the clowns, bitch.
It's like, bitch, you're gonna die today.
If
they have seizures, that might be really bad.
Huh?
If they have epilepsy or seizures.
That doesn't cause epilepsy.
It might do.
No.
It might trigger something. They might try some
No.
shit. Insurance claims, man.
No, inoculations do that.
What the fuck are those? What are those? What are inoculations?
Street Hammer is basically, you know, when you get like vaccinated.
Okay.
I was making a joke about anti-vaxxers.
Anti-raptors.
Anti-vaxxers.
Oh,
Do you know about them?
no.
There's a group of people in the world that think if you if you vaccinate your kids, then you might get autism. Number one, there's a massive advantage to getting autism.
Oh, I know.
Makes you great at Warhammer.
Lol.
Just like me.
That's a joke.
Number two, what would you rather have? An autistic kid or a dead kid? Your choice, motherfuckers.
It is so dark, but it's so true, man.
It's so true.
It's so fucking true because everyone, like, so at work, right? We were talking about this. I think people who are anti-vax,
Genius works in a lab, by the way.
fucking idiots, man. Like, who would say, like, would you seriously risk your child fucking dying over a fucking injection that you got yourself and you haven't died? This is the kind of conundrum we're in here. One person wrote a fucking paper and that caused that much controversy. And here you guys are blaming me for being upset about that. Hey, aren't I meant to connect some shit before I do this?
Nagash doesn't believe in vaccinations. That's true. That's because he's the god of death.
Who's Nagash?
Nagash, he wants everyone to die. He's the god. Because he's the god of.
I was like, I thought it was someone in the feed. I was like, you need to kick them out right now.
Right
they
now.
Need to leave.
Get them out of the
you want
hobby.
to kill the future by someone else's mistakenly written paper. Ooh, Windows. Get a Mac.
We've had a message. So do you want to know some cool shit today, which is completely non-Warhammer related, but is related to The Honest Wargamer, which is the show we're on right now.
Yes.
Today I was able to network 5 different cameras together. And while that's not massively impressive for our week-to-week show, it does mean that when it comes to doing a live event coverage, which we're going to be doing a lot of next year, I'm going to be able to upgrade that quality, yo. It's going to look real nice. I'm super excited. Yeah.
You guys should donate to Rob's endeavours.
They do. Almost all of them, even if it's just moral support. But
monetary, please. Give them your PayPal link. Give me money. Give Daddy some money.
Everyone's super.
So we can play.
Everyone's super supportive. Actually, a couple of cool things happened this week as well. We reached 200,000 downloads on the podcast, which is pretty amazing.
200,000. 200K, bro.
I reckon by the end of the year, so the end of the first year of The Honest Wargame being live, will have been downloaded or listened to 250,000 times. Okay. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then also,
pretty good, man.
It's pretty good, man. And also, some amazing people crowdfunded some money together and then are sending me over to America next year. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Some bunch of amazing people, so I can go meet all the Americans and just like make jokes at them most of the time.
Please ask those awkward Trump-related questions for all of us.
Just going to ask as many questions as I can.
That awkward British humour, just make sure you lather and slap it all over there.
First Nagash was the most famous character in Hero Hammer in 4th edition. I never knew that, Mr. Hector. Thanks very much. That's fun. He was ridiculous with a full item like that. I need to go now. Bye, Mackie Mac.
Bye, Mackie Mac.
Awesome stream.
Make sure you have some mac and cheese. Mackie Mac. Yeah. Mac and cheese, Mackie Mac. Mac and cheese, Mackie Mac.
Mac and cheese.
Bees. Why does it not fit? Why the... I'm okay.
Welcome to Warhammer, baby.
Oh! Oh, okay, that's fine. It fits.
Well, you sorted it?
Yes. Bro.
Yeah. Did you build it in the order they said to build it, or did you just go for your own?
I literally went for my own fucking.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an interesting model.
Why would you do that on your first go?
Because it makes things interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, my G's arm goes here. Okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's fucking alright, mate. I've got this.
Good. Well, I'm really glad. I'm glad you got it like more to the level you need it to be.
Yeah, of course. So I had this from the beginning, bro.
You've got it. I believe in you.
Because his arm goes there, too. Okay. Yeah, that's why it melts, because it's going to be seamless. There's no joint. I'm here trying to put it in the groove, but it don't go in the groove. You gotta go with the groove.
You've got to go
America's
with the groove.
not weird, man. America's a cool place.
Huh?
America's
a bit weird, bro.
It's not weird.
It's a bit weird.
It's really not.
It's a bit weird. That's what she said. Genius is converting Warhammer Improv for the win. So, Sunnis, there you go.
Why?
I think what would be a fun show is once we've got Bexy to build a model, is again to get, before we paint anything, get both of you on and give you a bits box and get you to build like your own creation. Yeah.
No, you're onto something, you are.
That would be fun.
See, this is when...
that's what you're doing right now.
I feel like that would be so exciting for people to watch, because everyone's always making basic shit. And they're not like following.
Well, they're not.
They're following instructions.
They're making the best. They're making usually the hobby streams. The guys that do hobby streams are incredible. Like I am I'm incredibly impressed by their skill, but at the same time a little bit pissed that they don't have to do quite as much research as I do for the for gaming. There's a lot more like front loading you need to do when
That's because you're following a manual. They're not. They're like creating everything. They're like the author of stuff.
Sure.
Author of stuff. Ooh. So excited.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
You're gonna Instagram the build you build.
I feel like I need to. This is necessary for the world to know what I've done today.
Moon Tyranid, I won't be carrying a UK flag around with me, I don't think. But we will be getting Honest Wargamer hats and t-shirts for upcoming events.
I think everyone will want to get involved because it's got a goblin on it. That goblin's so fucking cool.
Yeah, well, we're going to be, I think we're, I don't know what the best way to describe it is. We're basically going to have a team going to Adepticon. So there's going to be an Honest Wargamer team tearing Adepticon up. So it'll be like dozens of us all
bro, you're gonna get it.
All in the team
I'm
t-shirts.
sorry.
Just generally causing a kerfuffle over in America. It should be fun.
That's fun.
That should be fun.
Sounds so fun.
It should be really fun.
Put that head on, boy! He looks fierce. He absolutely fucking looks fierce. Look at him.
There's a big gap there, genius. There's a big this bit here. You've got a big old gap, my friend. That's not meant to be like that.
It's not meant to be like that.
That's meant to be way more connected. Look at that.
Like actually fucking connected.
Well, yeah.
I thought it's meant to look like that because his head's like. Whoa.
Why would there be a big gap in his head?
Because he's a machine, man. He left some gaps in the way. It's like, oh,
so let's start again on that front.
All right, thank you, Dad. Don't do that.
So let's try and get that a bit closer together.
do this.
There you go. I'm just taking this bit
After
off.
all my fusion.
You sure you're the right way?
I have to refuse.
You sure that's the right way?
Oh. Why would that be the right way?
Just asking you questions.
Oh, so it is the right way. Oh my god. That's why.
This is easy shit, Rob. This is like, you watch, I can just do it, no problem.
But then his spine doesn't work like that. Because think. Look, Rob, it's not the right way because the spine continues on like that, you fucking pleb.
All right, good. All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he was wrong. He was actually fucking wrong.
I wasn't saying anything. I was just watching.
Wrong.
I was just watching you. Good.
Oh! Yeah, I was right.
Have you got it? Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, proud of you. He's a robot. He's got a gap in his head.
Who's Corvex? Okay, yeah, give me Samuel on Corvex.
Samuel.
Samuel.
Okay, sure.
Please.
I thought you would want to be into the demon range though, because now that's what you're building.
Oh, is that building a guard?
I think after we've got Bexy to build her own model, what we'll do is we'll get you both to start collecting box. So and then we'll time you. You both can have it'll be a race to see who can build theirs first.
So what will I do when she's building her model? Oh, I'm not.
Well, no, you're both going to be building them at the same time.
Ooh.
So we'll get Bexy on next week, and then we'll do a challenge, you versus Bexy.
But then I've had a head start. That's not fair.
No, we'll get a new box set. A new box set, and we'll start collecting box, and we'll get you both to build them, and we'll see who wins the challenge.
Yeah, then we can play sexy tennis.
Exactly.
Sexy tennis. Crash Bandicoot sexy tennis, technically. Anyone who actually was watching last
Loads
time.
of people watched. There's some great comments.
Crash Bandicoot sexy tennis.
Crash Bandicoot sexy tennis coming soon.
Coming soon to a store near you.
Whew.
They'll be asking me, Mommy,
I want to play Crash Bandicoot.
Sexy tennis.
Sexy what?
Sexy tennis. So what other hobbies do people have apart from this?
That's interesting.
Please, guys, come on, give us your interesting things that you guys like to delve into.
Other than this.
Apart from this.
It tends to be an incredibly creative community, you know.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Just because obviously, this is super creative, and I tend to find other people the community is incredibly creative.
Ooh, motorcycles. Ooh, what's D&D? What does D&D mean?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Damn, son.
That's where instead of models, they don't really have models in Dungeons and Dragons. They just more make up stories.
There's a Crash Bandicoot thing in Primark.
What?
No way, I'm gonna go buy that.
Man, after watching, we were in Primark and saw Crash Bandicoot t-shirt.
There are other hobbies. Haha, provokatory, you're funny. Come on, you must have like a little craving for something. You like something.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what I find quite common is like I really like computer games. Always have.
Wood carving. Ooh, nice.
Oh, nice, Denise. Always liked it, but I tend to find that new computer game comes out, everyone gets hyped and it's like, yeah, but there's just something about like the tactile nature of what this is. It just seems really visceral and real.
A list, please.
Yeah.
Pin.
ED UK, studying Latin, magic. The Gathering. What, studying Latin? Is that what got you excited?
Yeah, that's fucking sexy shit.
Mr. Stingray, I coach basketball and build breweries. Ooh, that's cool.
Go on, Gary.
He should have the 3 Bs, shouldn't he, really, Mr. Stingray? He should be like, what are you doing?
I play drums and punk band. Yeah. That's fucking cool, man.
Oh, no, he's ruined it now. Playing drums, that's a D. He needs to be like BBB. He's like, my name's Mr. Stingray. If you don't catch me coaching basketball, you'll catch me building breweries or banging. Yeah, the 3 Bs of Mr. Stingray.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dungeons, models, video games. Yeah, man. That's
and all sorts of stuff. Try and make money to pay the bills.
Pay those bills and get some food. I love food.
You do love food.
More?
I had to go to archaeology too over the summer. I want to take it probably next
year.
Funk
is the funk. That's where it's at. Funk is the shit.
Listen to funk music.
The raw band is amazing. Yeah, man, funk music is cool. I listen to all music. Listen to a bit of Beethoven, a bit of like Yo-Yo Ma, like a bit of progressive strings. Yeah, I'm being serious. I like a bit of Bach every now and then. Put that on, I'm just like showering in a bit of Mozart.
You listen to Ludovico Encinada. I can't remember.
I probably don't know their names, but I might have listened.
He's really great. I'm into him at the minute. I listen to him while I'm reading Battle Tomes.
Ludwig.
No, it's Ludovico. L-U-D.
Rob, look what you made me do.
Okay. Moon Tyranid. You play computer games but lost its shine. That's how I feel. Studies for collecting dusty old funk records. That's great. I do video games as my job. Does it count as a hobby? Yeah, man.
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah, man. If you love it, you love it. I do like designing PC stuff, says Moon Tyranid. Is anyone happen to be a website designer, by the way? Because the Honest Wargamer is desperately seeking a website designer in a big way. We have got a crazy idea for a website. It's going to be pretty revolutionary to the Warhammer community. Not Warhammer community, the website. As in a website for the actual Warhammer community. I sort of like video games, but I only play Dark Souls and Blood Bowl. Yeah. Nice. I tried to play Blood Bowl once. I stopped after the first boss. I was like, fuck this game. Fuck this noise. I am shit at this. That's what I said to myself.
This is annoying me.
Thank you very much, Eddie Mac. What have you done?
Under the pressure of my hand, it moved. And it's moved off onto my hand.
Did you break it?
No.
You broke it?
Slipped off. Because remember, it's melting the fucking plastic, isn't it? So it's so slippy.
Hook and Pin likes. Thanks, AD. Appreciate that a lot. Ludovico Enuada. That's who I
Can you send me a link, please? Let me listen to that. Crochet, knitting, jewelry making. Yes.
There's a good song he does called Petrichor.
But it's pretty wank at it. Why would you?
See you later, Sinise.
Bye, Sinise. We love you. Come back. Give us your love and your likes and your opinions.
Crochet, knitting, and jewelry making. Wow.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Fuck yeah. Which way does this go then? No, but this goes here.
You're so shit at this.
Who me?
Who me? Yes,
How dare you? Insultest thou me?
Slayer 80 back. Thanks, man.
Bye bye. Insultest thou me, infidel?
I can make websites, but it's a thing
Dare
I
thee
haven't
not.
picked up, so I'm not sure I'm up to the task. Oh.
No.
Well, I think that's actually, that said, that's actually all we've got time for, Genius, because we've got to start work soon. But you've done really well. High rapid face punching. That is a soul grinder.
Technically, yeah, I was done with most of the pieces. If I had another hour, I'll be fucking done with this bitch.
You reckon you'd build it in another hour?
This bitch will be done in an hour, boy.
So what I'll do is
So straightforward.
when Genius has finally finished it, I'll put a picture up on Twitter and on Facebook and be like, hasn't he done well?
Judge.
Hasn't
me,
he
guys.
done well here?
Judge me hard. Judge me like you judge yourself.
But it's been lovely having you on, Genius. You've become a true Warhammer person today and hated building models.
Clearly, they need to make a fucking new glue still.
You guys have been wonderful. Thanks for being on the show.
Yes, it is a soul grinder, rapid face punching.
You guys are great, and we'll see you guys on Thursday when No One's Wargamer will return with our 40. We're doing an RPG on Thursday, me and the guys, so we'll be doing some story 40k. Basically, we're just making up a story. We'll just be talking to each other, but it'll be like a strange tale. I've never done that before, so I imagine it'll be terrible, but please join.
Oh, I get, because you put the thing over the join afterwards so that it melts and... Boring. That's cheating, man.
Thanks for comparing. We'll see you guys soon. See you, everyone. Thanks for being here. You guys are cool. And we'll see you soon. Bye.